And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network and tonight's special presentation of the 2023 Kickoff Classics. Tonight we are live from Commodore Stadium, where the 7-4 2022 Titusville Terriers travel to face the 7-4 2022 Eau Gallie Commodores. And joining me tonight for this broadcast is my broadcast partner, my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the living legend himself, Anthony Knock Reiner. Knock, welcome. Good to have you back here again tonight. 2 in a row, Knock. Tonight we got a game that's been highly anticipated all week. Social media has been amped with it. Twitter Spaces has been trash talked with it. Here we go, buddy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is going to be a fun one. I think there's a lot on the line here tonight between these two squads, and they both want to get off to a good start. I know this doesn't add up in the win-loss column, but both teams want to get off to good starts. Obviously, Titusville wants to build off the momentum they had last year, and Eau Gallie, they want to get back deep into the playoffs. So tonight is the first step for those teams, and I think it's going to be interesting to see just the clash of styles between Coach Holmes and Coach Sands.
Yeah, no doubt. On our screen right now is our BSN family of sponsors, and there you see them there. And, of course, we want to thank BlackRock Engineering, Archaic Design, Incorporated Kitchen and Bath, Cal Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Connect Sports Funding, Zone 6, EG Kicks, Beachway Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, and Brazati. As we get set for kickoff here, the captains are at midfield. And Knock, one of those captains at midfield, is a young man that's already committed to the University of Oregon. And he's going to be a future Duck, and that is Sandman Thompson. He takes up half the offensive and defensive lines. He's an outstanding football player. And your impressions?
He's just a very large individual. He's going to be a lot like some of those guys we talked about last night, you know, the Javian Wilsons, the Coco offensive line that we talked about. But, again, I'm very curious to see, again, that defensive line and offensive line for Titusville. They got to try and contend with this man. And how do they do that? What does John Holmes do? Does he run away from him? Does he try and give extra blockers? Is it double teams? Is it traps? Is it counters? What do they do to try and nullify his impact on this game tonight?
There will be no Mari Crooms tonight. There will be no Hardison at wide receiver tonight. So this Eau Gallie offense, we're going to probably get.
There's no time either tonight.
And that's right. The scoreboard was struck by lightning, amongst other things. And so we're going to all play the guessing game here tonight. and man, I was set to run the new BSN clock as well. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. But Knock, no Crooms tonight, no Hardison tonight. So we're going to get Latson and Grennan at quarterback now, or
Grantland
at quarterback. I'm sorry, Grantland at quarterback, and I'm excited to see Grantland play. I've watched this young man play youth football, watched him play JV football last year for Eau Gallie. He's the future at the position, so I hope he gets some time here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of watching a little bit beforehand and some of the pregame warm-up. I really liked what I saw. His arm looks pretty strong. Like I said, he put it about 45, 50 yards out, put it right on the wide receiver. I know it's just pregame, but, man, I like what I see from a quarterback that's got a good arm as we see the Eau Gallie Commodores take the field. And I'll tell you this, too, Alan. This is the first time I've seen the Eau Gallie Commodores in navy blue and red. The last time I did an Eau Gallie Commodores game, it was navy blue and gold that they were wearing.
Well, Knock, you asked me if we got stats at halftime. Well, while the Eau Gallie uniforms have changed, that's the one thing that hasn't. There is no stats at halftime in Brevard County. As the Titusville Terriers take the field, let's talk about the Terriers for a second. Under second-year head coach John Holmes, who is the reigning 2022 Brevard Sports Network Coach of the Year. 2020, no, right down here, the PA guy. Yep. The reigning 2022 Coach of the Year as he leads the Titusville Terriers. Listen, 74 last year, first playoff appearance, and I don't count the COVID year where everybody went to the playoffs regardless of what your record is. Their first playoff appearance since 2014, and I'll tell you what, I expect big things from this program moving forward, and John Holmes told us a successful season is battling Coco in the regional finals, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wants to go deep in the playoffs. That's what he said to us in the coaches show, and that's not bad. That's not bad expectations. I mean, Titusville wants to take those next steps.
TJ Jordan asking if DL is playing. No.
Dean Roberts getting ready to kick.
All right, knock. Here we go.
Boot to leather. Here we go on a nice night. A little overcast as this one will be returnable. This one returned by Latavius Welch, and he breaks free, coming to the near sideline, across the 50, only the kicker to beat. Welch running, he'll get there, breaks it, and he'll go into the end zone. The Eau Gallie Commodores don't take long to put it on the board.
And the spaces are lighting up now, knock. The opening kickoff, 100 yards for a touchdown, and one of the things we did not talk about with this Eau Gallie Commodore offense was the fact that they got two of the best backs in Welch and Williams in it. And knock, he shows right out of the gate why. Is that freezing? Are you looking at it?
Yeah. No,
Is it freezing?
That's the
old one.
That's the old one.
All right, you missed absolutely nothing. So we're not going to take the chance on that freezing up like that. So we switch our signal and we move to a straight Facebook Live. Welcome back here to Commodore Stadium as Tay Welch with a 100-yard kickoff return. And there you see the extra point. And so we're out of this one, and we're back to a straight Facebook Live. And that's the way it's going to have to be. You'll have to rely on myself and Knock for time.
That's a nice thought.
Yeah, the scoreboard's broke. There's the kick.
Kick is squib kick, and it'll be returnable. Actually muffled. We'll see if Titusville can hold on. They do. And that is Parker Bryant who falls on it. Be first down and 10 at about the 26-yard line for the Titusville Terrier offense.
Yeah, I don't know why they tell you that you can run these streams with about a 7 or an 8 upload signal. You can't. You got to be in double digits, and it is what it is. 7-0, Eau Gallie on top here. This is Titusville's first possession if you're just joining us. Welch with a 100-yard kickoff on the opening kick. Turn it right back over to my good buddy Anthony Knockreiner.
Two receivers to the near side. That is Jamarion Stephens as well as Ray Wilson Poldor. We'll see Josiah Allen in a quarterback. Nate Lopez, the running back, to his right. Two receivers to the far side. Allen calls for the shotgun snap. Looks to throw. He's got pressure now, rolling to his right, and he'll get knocked out of bounds. That'll be a loss of a couple as Josiah Allen couldn't find a receiver that he liked.
Let me just put this out here right now. I know a lot of people are asking for scores from other games. We don't know scores from other games. We're in a press box at the moment that we aren't updated. We aren't updated with that information. If we get it, we'll pass it along, but we don't have it, so I apologize.
Right now brings up second down and about 15. Ball back on the 21-yard line. Loss of 5. We'll see Stephens now in the Wildcat. He'll take the handoff to the right. And we'll see Stephens maybe back to the line of scrimmage. No, he's going to lose 3 yards.
The one thing, I was talking to one of the coaches before the game, and the one thing that this team is extremely proud of, Knock, is this defense. They say this defense is as stout as it's been here in the last 15 years. So I think Jamarion Stephens is about to find that out. The Rockledge Transfer, who is the reigning Brevard Sports Network most valuable player.
All right. We'll see Josiah Allen back in a quarterback. Stephens to his left. See Ray Wilson here to the near side, as well as Jaden Brown. Allen looking deep. He's looking for Ray Wilson, and Wilson falls down that one just too far out in front. And it'll fall incomplete, bring up fourth down, and it looks like Coach John Holmes will elect the punt.
Yeah, I don't think that's a no-brainer right there on the punt. 7-0 here, Eau Gallie on top. Now, we don't know how much time is left in the quarter because the scoreboard was struck by lightning prior to the start of the game tonight. And see that right there on the right side of your screen? Well, that's exactly what we're seeing is what you're seeing, and that equates to absolutely nothing.
So far in that first drive, Alan, you talk about that defense, but again, just the havoc that defensive line, the size they got up front, Ogalli can just really cause some problems up front for the Terriers, and that's what we saw in that first drive.
I know you're going to give us the starters here just as soon as we catch our breath here.
Roberts back to punt. Nice long punt. Looking to send Xavier Larisi back, and Larisi able to corral it. Makes one guy miss, makes another. Rolls to it, going to his left, now turns it up inside. And a host of Terriers there to bring him down.
Let me tell you about Xavier Larisse, Knock. Larisse is a student. First of all, he's a heck of a baseball player. One of his first games I ever saw him play as a freshman, I believe he is, a home run, 360 foot over the left field wall. This young man is going to be a superstar in this county. Of course, many know his father, Manny Larisse, who is the girls' head basketball coach here at Eau Gallie. But I'll tell you what, he's something else here. 7-0, Ogalli on top. Here's Anthony Knockreiner.
As we mentioned, no Crooms tonight at quarterback. It'll be Jay Latson getting the start. Obviously, you know the running backs as we look at them. Welch as well as Delvonte Williams. Latson pulls it down now, taking a look and run. He'll gain a couple of yards as he gets across midfield.
We will update the score. We don't know the time. We'll update the score about every minute, so you don't have to ask for that.
Yep, 7-0 right now. Right now, Titusville Terriers defense led by DJ Cooper as well as Jeremy Priest, Isaac Russell. See Nate Lopez out there, Josiah Allen as well, Jabari Green, Kamari Jackson, as well as Ray Wilson as well. So
a lot of two-way players for Coach Holmes.
Man in motion for Ogalli as we see Welch now with the handoff, carries it, continues to churn the legs, and good pickup of about 7 yards there for Welch.
That's the thing that makes Welch and Williams so effective is they low center of gravity. They stop on a dime. They cut. They keep their knees high, ball tucked tight, and they're powerful.
We're going to see Williams check into the ball game now. And the big fullback as well. Let's see here. I don't have a name for that number, 44.
Okay, well, welcome to the Kickoff Classic hour.
Actually, check that. I'm sorry. I don't have that. Never mind.
Did you just see the block by Pitts up front? He rode his guy 7 yards down the field and absolutely opened up a hole that you and I could have ran down the steps and ran through.
That's impressive. First down for Ogalli. And like I said, we talked about this offensive line. It's kind of like last night, Alan, with Koku's offensive line. Ogalli's got size up front. And how much can Titusville's defensive line get those guys out of the way and get penetration and reestablish that line of scrimmage 2 or 3 yards in the backfield? Welch and Williams in the backfield with Latson. Latson keeping. Deciding he's going to throw it, and that one's going to fall incomplete. That one almost intercepted as Brandon Wiggins was in the vicinity.
Yeah, well, I'm not impressed with his first pass there, but we'll see. He just kind of lobbed that one up. Got to be careful with that football.
As we mentioned, no Crooms tonight, no Hardison as well for the Eau Gallie Commodores. See DJ Maltby go to the other side of the formation. And Dawson Barbaro here, the receiver at the near side.
Running a 4-4.
Roger Fidel here as we see a flag. Latson quickly out, and that is to Barbaro. Still turning the legs and moving as he gets knocked out of bounds by a host of Terriers.
Yeah, that's a good pass that time. Just got, as a quarterback, your primary job is to protect the football, so you got to make sure you do that. Look, Jay is not the primary quarterback on this team, and that time he tucks it in and does a real good job of getting the ball down the field, but it looks like it's going to come back. Tina Sands says, come on, Allen. Well, you know what? I'm doing my job.
What does she want you to do?
I think I criticized Jay's pass there. And I get it.
Bill Jefferson checking into the ball game for the Terriers. I will say this. I saw a high school at one point. They had numbers. They were just huge on the jerseys. I wish that high schools would make just numbers huge. I don't know why. There's a little wasted space there. Just make the numbers huge.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, yep, I hear you. We know a couple uniform reps for a couple of the companies that deal with these schools. Maybe that's the people we should be talking to.
Yeah.
But the flag's going to be picked up, Knock, and that's a good thing for Ogalli as they are approaching the global polygraph analysis red zone here, buddy.
So it'll be an Eau Gallie Commodore first down. Ball moved to about the 23-yard line.
Who is the big fullback back there?
There's 44, but I don't have a 44 on Eau Gallie's roster. There's a 34. That might be Conrad Perry as Williams takes the handoff, and he's met by Josiah Allen as well as Isaac Russell, the linebackers.
Jessica Casey on. Jessica, the athletic director at Viera Charter. And next week we're going to be up there doing some volleyball media days as we get set to cover volleyball starting this coming week. Wednesday night we got a doozy of a contest for you between Holy Trinity and Merritt Island.
Receivers DJ Maltby as well as Mackay Biggs. On the far side of the field is Latson. Now reverses field, looking for a receiver. He's going to tuck it in and run. Able to make one guy miss, but Josiah Allen right there to clean it up. Short gain for the quarterback.
One quarterback taking down another quarterback, and that's a nice job by Latson. And we talked about protecting the football, especially when you're down near the red zone. The one thing you don't want to do that drives coaches crazy is turn the ball over at any time, much less the red zone. Latson puts it away and just takes the simple loss there or the no gain to live for another play. Smart play by Jay.
3rd down and 8. Ball needs to get to about the 13-yard line for Eau Gallie to pick up a first down. Pitch out to Welch. Welch being chased down by a Titusville Terrier defender. He can't get there as Welch turns it up. It'll be close. I don't know if he's got enough. We'll find out.
He is so fast on that first step. When he turned that corner, Knock.
Jaden Brown was coming down on him, and he was able to elude him.
He was so fast over there. Who's on that left side of that Eau Gallie line? I see 55 and 73 over there. I know Sandman.
DeMoss Pitts and Robert, I believe it's Hooger.
I tell you, man, I know Sandman's at center, but that left side of that Eau Gallie line got out front. They're doing a heck of a job over there. 4th and short here, no decision whatsoever when you got backs like Welch and Williams and an athlete like Latson at quarterback. You absolutely go for this, especially up 7-0.
Biggs now running as the misdirection there is that'll be, I believe that's Williams, no, Welch with the carry. He'll get enough for the first down as he goes inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
Welch is out there covering more ground than Kudzu. Knock, going left, going right, going north, going south.
I was just going to say, it's just so tough with that speed because you think as a defender you have him in the hole, and all of a sudden he's just got that extra burst and he's able to elude you.
Here we go inside the GPA, Global Polygraph Analysis red zone here.
First down and goal, ball sitting on that 7-yard line. We see the receivers for Eau Gallie, TJ Robinson, as well as Mackay Biggs. Biggs now the man in motion. Hand off to Biggs as he goes to the other side. Got a lead blocker, and what a hit! What a hit!
Wow!
Ray Wilson Polydor in on the stop. I hope I'm saying that last name right. I do apologize if I can't.
I tell you what, he pulled off of I-95 with his Mack truck and absolutely destroyed the running back. Eau Gallie looking to build on a 7-0 lead here. What a hit.
That was one heck of a hit by Ray Wilson as he comes from his safety position.
That's how a safety's supposed to hit right there.
So right now we look at 2nd down and goal. Again, Welch as well as Williams in the backfield. Man in motion is TJ Robinson. Handoff once again to an Eau Gallie running back, and that is Emmanuel Small. As Small goes into the end zone, we got a couple flags.
Coming back. It's going to be on Eau Gallie.
Looks like what, in the realm of holding?
Well, I think there was a block right here in the back. Right here on the goal line.
You see big man Brandon Brown check in here. Small will check out. Nice run by Emmanuel Small. Just have a good stable of running backs. That's always huge.
They're going to call a hold, but it was definitely a block in the back right at the goal line. And that's not a smart play because, I'm not going to call the lineman out that did it, but look, he was in the end zone with or without it there, so you got to recognize that. I know you want to get that extra hit in, but your guy's going in for a touchdown, so you got to recognize sometimes.
Brandon Brown now in as a fullback, at least, as Latson in the shotgun. Williams the back, play action. Latson looking to throw, going into the end zone, and that one's intercepted. That one intercepted by Jamarion Stephens, and that'll be a touchback. And Eau Gallie comes away with no points.
Well, this is exactly why Jamarion Stephens was named our MVP last year, the most valuable player. What he did for the Rockledge Raiders last year was outstanding. He played secondary, had a couple of picks. He was their quarterback when Traven Green went down. He was one of their leading running backs last year. And there you see what Jamarion Stephens brings to the Titusville Terriers. That is an inside the 10-yard line interception. And the Terriers avoid a 14-0 start. And what a turn of events there, Knock. We get a hold that backs them up on a clear touchdown, and now it's 7-0, still Eau Gallie, but Titusville's not battling back from a 2-score deficit now as we hit the water break. I want to take this opportunity here on the water break to thank our family of sponsors that do such a terrific job for us here at Brevard Sports Network, and they include the likes of Best Private Investigations, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Solutions Property Management, Global Polygraph Analysis, Zone 6 and Zone 6 Reapers, CalClean. We also want to thank Ubrizati, Archaic Design in Kitchen and Bath. So Titusville avoids a disastrous, if there can be such a thing as a disastrous start to a kickoff classic, as they will get the ball, but they trail 7-0 as their offense comes back out onto the field. And here's my good buddy Anthony Knockreiner.
We'll see Stephens as well as Josiah Allen in the backfield. Ray Wilson, the receiver to the near side, trips to the far side. First down and 10, ball on the 20-yard line after the Stephens interception, ending the Eau Gallie offensive drive. Man in motion is Brandon Wiggins. Allen will hand off this time to Stephens once again. Stephens with a short gain as he's held up by a couple of Eau Gallie defenders, leading the charge.
7-0. Eau Gallie on top.
Willie Lewis, one of the Commodores, in on the stop. So we bring up about 3-yard gain and bring up second down and 7 as the ball needs to get to the 30 for a first down. Wiggins and Ray Wilson, receivers to the near side. Second down and 7 here. Again, Titusville deep in their own territory after the interception. Allen facing pressure, and he's going to be sacked by Sandman Thompson.
The Oregon commit gets in there, and he shows right there why he's headed to the great Northwest. He'll be doing that next year. He'll be doing it for the Ducks next year. He took a visit there recently. And I'll tell you what, he had a good time.
He'll be in the Northwest playing in the Big Ten.
Yeah, right? Want to say hello to my good buddy Jeff Conway. Watching here tonight, Edwin Fuzzy Jones, Pop Jones watching here. 7-0 Eau Gallie on top if you're just joining us.
Third down and long. Again, the ball needs to get to the 30-yard line for Titusville to pick up the first down. Allen, three-step drop, halfback screen coming. That is Stephens on the reception. He's got some blockers coming to the near sideline. He's got the first down and more. Makes another man miss and is finally brought down here on the near sideline across the 42.
Nice play there on the screen. Stephens caught the ball, no flags. Solid blocking out front. More than enough for the first down, Knock.
That's how you negate a good pass rush.
Yeah, it is right there. Quick screen or a quick check up the middle. Sandman comes out to catch his breath. And it'll be first and 10 for Titusville.
Say big Patrick Gibson up there, the center. for Titusville. Doing a nice job. Waylon Gardner, Jeremy Priest, Gage Gunter, as well as Bill Jefferson, your offensive lineman for the Titusville Terriers. Got to give a shout out to the big man up front.
Yep. We make it a point to give the score and the time about every 60 seconds, but we can't give you the time because the scoreboard's out.
First down and 10. Allen eluding pressure, and he's going to be sacked and brought down by Markel Gowans, the senior.
Palm Bay transfer comes over here, comes off the edge and doing a lot what he did last year at Palm Bay, and that's sacking quarterbacks. Nice play by Markel Gowans.
Markel Gowans, Sandman Thompson, Brandon Brown, as well as Josh Roberts, the defensive line for the Eau Gallie Commodores. Already 2 sacks tonight here for the Commodores. Ray Wilson as well as Jaden Brown, the receivers to the near side. Allen hands off, and that is to Alex Christian. Alex Christian with a short gain as he's knocked out of bounds.
Christian's got to plant a foot and turn that north at a point. He had an opportunity to do so there, but it's the Kickoff Classic. They'll show him on film. He'll learn.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing here is we're going to see Elliot Talia, check into the ball game now for the Titusville Terriers. They've got some size up front.
Yeah, Ogalli's big and you're talking about Titusville, but Ogalli's big and fast up front. I am impressed with the play of their defense.
So third down and about 14 to go. Ball needs to get to the Commodore 47-yard line for a first down. Allen, quick, launches it, and that one is a little bit of a miscommunication. That receiver, Ralph Smith, was the intended target. And I think Smith was supposed to go more towards the sideline.
He was. Josiah Allen just holding his arms out like, what's going on? And, that's why you play these Kickoff Classic games, because you learn.
Exactly.
You watch film and you learn. And this is where Eau Gallie cashed in on the kickoff, or they ran the opening kickoff back. Tay Welch 100 yards, and that's the only scoring in the game so far as the Commodores lead it 7-0. You don't have to keep asking us for the score, please. We'll update you every 60 seconds.
7-0, as Allen just mentioned, for the Commodores. Back deep is Dean Roberts, the punt. Good snap. Kick is away. Good punt here by Roberts, an angling punt, not giving Larice any opportunity to return that one, as Eau Gallie will start at their own 30-yard line.
That's the smartest thing he did right there, was kick away from Xavier Larice. A playmaker times 10 is X-Man. He does a heck of a job, whatever he's playing, as Eau Gallie. I'll tell you what, I give all the credit in the world to this Commodore offense, who is playing without their best wide receiver and without their starting quarterback. Back on that drive, they moved the ball up the field.
Well, they did that with running the football. They did that with Welch. They did that with Williams. They also did that with Small as well, and Small had the touchdown run that was negated by a penalty. First down and 10, Jay Latson in shotgun. He's got Welch and Williams to his right and to his left, as Welch will get the handoff, and he'll be met quickly by Josiah Allen, the outside linebacker for the Terriers.
Commodores up 7-0 here. I'm not sure when we're approaching the end of the first quarter, but it's coming. It's got to be coming, Knock.
Oh, yeah, we had the water break already. Yeah. 7-0, the Commodores leading the Terriers. Commodores right now, the receivers here to the near side.
Trent Guy is the offensive coordinator, and again, you couldn't you couldn't have the offense in the hands of a better guy than Trent. No pun intended there, but played a couple of years with the Panthers, played in the Canadian Football League. He definitely knows what he's looking at.
Second down and 11, T.J. Robinson, as well as Mekhi Biggs, the receivers to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield, and we got whistles.
I'll tell you what, I like the flow. These officials are doing a good job here thus far. That's the end of the quarter, Knock!
Into the first quarter, the Eau Gallie Commodores lead the Titusville Terriers 7-0 after a Tay Welch 100-yard kick return.
Back here in just a minute. We're going to mute it, so if you don't hear anything, that's why. 65-yard scoop and score for the Melbourne Bulldogs, and they lead Lake Brantley 14-13 as our reigning defensive coordinator of the year, Jeff Panucci's defense has already forced 3 turnovers about 10 miles, not even that, 3 miles down the road. Here it's 7-0 Eau Gallie as we get set to start quarter number 2. And here to tell you how that's going to unfold is my good friend Anthony Knockreiner.
Receiver the near side, Dawson Barbaro, the senior here for the Eau Gallie Commodores. Jay Latson in the shotgun. Offset pistol. Welch the back to his right. Williams the back behind Latson. 2 receivers to the far side. Latson quickly throws the inside slant intended for Barbaro. That one just off the hands. Good coverage by Kamari Jackson.
You know, Trent Guy told me before the game, Barbaro's a guy they're going to work into this game, work with tonight.
I like his size.
I do too. He dropped that one. That's a catchable ball. That was a beautiful pass by Latson, put where only Barbaro could get it. That's the type of play right there that Coach Guy was talking about. He'll make some plays and he'll drop some easy ones. And so there is a coachable experience there for the young man.
Biggs and Robinson, the receivers to the near side. As we get ready for 3rd down and 11. Again, the score 7-0. The Eau Gallie Commodores lead the Titusville Terriers here in the Kickoff Classic. Latson hands it off to Welch. Welch looking for some running room, able to find it as he'll get across the 30-yard line to about the 32-yard line. Nice gain there of about 7 or 8 for the Commodores.
And that's a move right there that a senior running back makes. Welch is a junior, and he plants, he cuts, he picks up 5 of those yards merely through sheer vision there, Knock. He saw it, made the cut. I'd be willing to bet you that's not where the play was supposed to go, but he nearly picked up the first down.
Well, I was going to say, you got to give credit to this Titusville defense. They haven't made the running lanes easy since that first drive. They haven't made the running lanes easy on the Eau Gallie Commodores here. Yeah,
they definitely made an adjustment.
Larice will punt this one away after a low snap. Nice job by Larice to recover. And the Terriers will let that go. Jaden Brown will run away from it. And the Titusville Terriers will take over on their own 27-yard line. Here is we've got Eau Gallie 7, Titusville 0 here in the second quarter.
Relatively calm thus far, Knock, considering the way Twitter Spaces was this week so far in the comments. We'll see as that continues to pick up.
Right now, the only score that you have is the Eau Gallie Commodores opening kickoff. They took it 100 yards. Latavius Welch making his presence known immediately here in the 2023 season. And the Eau Gallie Commodores now on defense. Titusville, right now, they've got 1 first down so far. So we're trying to string a little bit more of a drive here as they're on their own. 27-yard line. Allen under center. You see that pistol wishbone. Allen will hand off to Stephens, and Stephens will be knocked back by a host of Eau Gallie Commodores defenders.
You know, we've talked about that Cocoa defense. We've talked about that Heritage defense ad nauseum. This is my first opportunity to see this Eau Gallie defense, and I'll tell you what, Knock, they're pretty good.
I was about to say, we've got some good defenses here.
Yeah, we do.
And if you think about it, too, Titusville's not bad here tonight.
No.
Eau Gallie and Titusville so far, good defensive spar. Again, our touchdown came off of special teams play. 2nd down and 10, ball on the 27-yard line. Allen again under center. 2 tight end set. That pistol wishbone. Allen loses the snap. We got a flag that flies as well. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, is that a turnover?
That might have been. The Gallie, the ball was loose, so Gallie might have come away with it, or they do, because there was a Commodore with the football. But I'm curious to see what the officials call here.
Yeah, what?
Because if it's a false start, I don't know that.
Why can't anything be simple?
No, hey, where's the fun in that?
He just took the ball.
He did.
See what the white hat calls here.
Anthony Moore, our head official tonight.
We
got a false start on Titusville. Penalties declined, and it's Eau Gallie Commodore football.
I thought a false start was a dead ball.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was a dead ball foul. I didn't know that there could be a change of possession on a dead ball foul, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not entirely sure because, like I said, I thought that was a dead ball play anyway. So Ogalli gets the football our first turnover of the evening. The Eau Gallie Commodores defense comes away with it as a mishandled snap. If I'm Coach John Holmes, I kind of want to ask referee Anthony Moore about that and just why that wasn't, dead play.
I've never seen that before.
Latson hands off to Williams. Williams right up the gut and across the 10 inside to about the 9-yard line as the Commodores trying to threaten and add to their 7-0 lead.
As Daryl Duran reports, 14-13. That's the Melbourne Bulldogs up at halftime. The Melbourne Bulldogs.
That'll be a gain of about 15 inside the 10-yard line. Commodores have the first and goal from the 9.
So a good gain there by Williams for the Eau Gallie Commodores.
Inside the best private investigation red zone now, Knock.
Manuel Small, the running back, in as well with Williams. First down and goal for the Commodores. Latson just throws it quickly to Small in the flats, and Small lowers his helmet and shoulder pads, and he's into the end zone for a Commodore touchdown.
Latson, that's Latson right there.
That's a good play action.
He sold that fake to Welch and threw that little out there, and it was wide open. And all the back had to do was beat the one defender, which he easily did at the goal line. And we don't have West Melbourne Studios, Daryl, but Daryl reporting that Melbourne is on top.
Well, that's a good sign by Melbourne. I mean, we weren't sure. Like I said, Melbourne was one of those teams that just because of what happened in the offseason, how many guys they lost, they're a team that we're going to have to find out what they're about. I mean, tonight, so far, so good.
Yep, that's a good play.
So we have a penalty, it looks like. I'm not sure if it was. It's got to be after.
Yeah, it was. It was excessive celebration, unsportsmanlike conduct.
We got a Moscada penalty on the Commodores. The touchdown does stand.
So that'll be enforced on the kickoff.
Again, Maurice, the holder, Maldonado.
Alex Maldonado will be attempting the extra point. Already good once tonight. Low snap, and it's Larice that's going to have to make a play as it's a low snap. Didn't even get a chance to kick that one. And Titusville does a nice job just stopping Larice right in his tracks. So it'll be a 13-0 lead for the Eau Gallie Commodores here midway through the second quarter.
All right, it's 14-0. As we'll step aside, we'll be right back here in just a moment. What an outstanding play call, too. Let's give Trent Guy and that offensive staff some credit. That was a great play call down there, Knock.
Great play action.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really solid play action fake because, I thought Williams had the ball and then, Small out in the flat as well. So, again, tough break there for Titusville's defense as we see Roberts just kind of pitch this one. Ball's loose, and it goes out of bounds. As Stephens couldn't quite catch that one, but again, the Terriers with decent field position, though. They'll be starting with their best field position of the evening as they're going to be at about the 42, 43-yard line is where this drive will start.
The one thing Chris Sands does religiously is he constantly gives all the credit in the world to his staff. And, he'll tell you, they're the ones that do the work. Heritage up 15-2 on Jensen. BSN's newest broadcaster, Daryl Durand, on the scoreboard update on the stream. Great to have Daryl aboard.
Josiah Allen in the shotgun. Stephens to his left as we face first down and 10 for the Terriers offense in great field position. Stephens takes the handoff. He'll turn it upfield. We got a flag coming in from the back judge. We'll see. It's a good gain of about 4.5 yards. We'll see if the play stands.
I wonder what that's not from the area of hold.
You wouldn't think. Could it be a block in the back?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Chris Sands is pointing backwards, so he's going to take it no matter what. Chris is funny, though, when you watch him with the referees. He's always pointing backwards at every flag. And it is a hold. Well, maybe he saw something we didn't, Knock. That's a 38-yard holding penalty, meaning he's 38 yards away from the play.
Ball will be backed up to the 37-yard line. First down and, I was going to say, it's going to be a long distance here, and that's what Titusville's offense has found themselves in a little too much here early on. Just too many long-distance situations. Stephens, the receiver to the far side of the field. See Ralph Smith, the receiver to the near side, Jaden Brown in the slot.
Can't play from behind the sticks. I don't care what time of the year it is.
Alex Christian in the backfield as he's blocking for Josiah Allen, and Allen is going to be sacked. That's going to be big number 9, Markel Gowans, with his second sack of the evening.
Gowans gets in there. Gowans cleaned up. Who's number 20 over there?
That's Brandon Brown.
Brandon Brown created that sack. He came in. He forced Josiah Allen to step up, and he was forced to step up into the waiting arms of Markel Gowans. But Gowans will take it. Really should be one of those half-credit sack things there.
So it'll be second down and 18 now for the Titusville Terriers. Again, they got to get to the Commodore 47-yard line for a first down.
That's just a great play by that defense coming in there. Great teamwork up front right now, running with 3 down linemen, Knock.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, I think we're kind of seeing that 3-3-5 stack that we see from we saw last night a little bit from Satellite. They had some success with it as well as they were getting some penetration on Coco. But we'll see a timeout taken by the Titusville Terriers as they want to discuss this second down and long play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I want to take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors. And you know what? One of them is KelClean. KelClean is your dependable local pressure washing contractor serving Central Florida. With KelClean's professionals, equipment, and staff, they can assure you a professional job completed in a timely manner. Their goal is to make you a satisfied customer, not just on the day of their service, but for life. Check them out online at that's probably one too many W's, but www.kelclean.com, or give them a call at 321-505-7006. It's 14-0, or 13-0 Eau Gallie on top of Astronaut as we are nearing about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. And here to take you through the next series of plays for the Titusville Terriers, my good friend Anthony Knockreiner.
Second down and a mile here. Again, ball needs to get to the Commodore 47-yard line. We'll call it the Commodore 46 to be safe. Again, don't have the yard markers on the side as we usually do, or at the hash marks as well.
Yeah, where are they?
We didn't see them at Coco last night, and they're not here tonight. So I'm guessing that's just part of the just the Kickoff Classic. Save the paint. Second down and a mile. Josiah Allen looks to his left. Now he's going to be sacked, and ball's loose, and Stephens will fall on it. And that was Roberts coming off the edge, sacking Josiah Allen. That's the 4th sack, I believe, maybe the 5th sack here tonight.
The Titusville Terrier offensive line does not have an answer for the size and speed of Eau Gallie at the moment. They simply don't.
As I say, it's been tough sledding here tonight as Roberts coming off that edge, and now you see Sandman Thompson check into the ball game for big number 54. Check that.
Astronaut is
Redmond Thompson.
Astronaut's on top, right? 21-0.
So third down in pretty much 2 bus lengths here for the Titusville Terriers. Stephens lines up to the right, trips formation here to the near side. Ralph Smith, the receiver, to the bottom of your screen. Allen facing pressure again, and it's a fumble, and Stephens falls on it. As Allen again sacked on the 3rd consecutive play. Gowans, Roberts, and I didn't see who hit him on the last one.
Jamarion Stephens with the cover right there. But I'm going to tell you, that one, though, I mean, he had only about 3.5 seconds there, Knock. I mean, he has no time to throw the football at the moment. And it's now 4th down and a trip back to Titusville for a first down.
This drive started at the Titusville Terrier 43-yard line. Titusville's been backed up because of sacks and fumbles all the way back to their own 9-yard line.
In fact, Xavier Larice is standing at his own 46, and Titusville would have need to have gotten to the 47 of Ogalli for a first down.
Dean Roberts had to get that one off quickly, and Larice will let it go as there will be a Terrier there to pick it up. That being Nate Lopez. Nate Lopez picks it up, and Ogalli, again, a short field. And so far tonight, the Commodores have won the field position battle.
They've won all the battles thus far here tonight for sure. Black Rock Engineering and Technology's team of cybersecurity software network engineers and strategic leaders are the best and direct. They do not shy away from providing you with what they think will work best for your organization. Check them out online. They're the best in cybersecurity, www.blackengtech.com, 321-428-3688. And here to take you through the Eau Gallie Commodores' next drive is Anthony Knockreiner.
Right now your score 13-0. The Commodores leading the Titusville Terriers here in the Kickoff Classic. First down and 10 on the Terrier 42-yard line. Man in motion is going to be Juju Gonzalez. Handoff up the middle. And that is Delvonte Williams as he gets a good gain of about 6.5 yards, maybe 5.5. Ball will be spotted at the 36-yard line. Second down and 4 here. Again, Gonzalez lining up to the left of Latson. Williams to his right. Two receivers to the near side. That being Robinson and Biggs. Gonzalez in motion. Latson play action. Quickly inside. And that is to Robinson, but he fumbles. And the Terriers come up with it.
That was a definite catch and a move and an offensive motion. A definite fumble. And I tell you what, the Terriers catch a break. They've got to do something with this football. With about 7 minutes to play in the first half, the scoreboard is out, so we don't know exactly. They've got to try to minimize the damage here, trailing 13-0.
Ball's going to be spotted on the 23-yard line. That's what they'll take over first down and 10. Again, that is a great play by the Titusville defense.
Water break.
So water break, that usually is about the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter, so midway through.
Great crowd on hand here tonight as Brevard County could not wait for high school football to start back up as we hit the water break. Ogalli scores on a 100-yard opening kickoff return by Tay Welch, and then a little swing pass from Latson. Who was the receiver on that?
That was Manuel Small.
Manuel Small hauls in a little 6-7 yard pass, beats his man at the goal line, scoots in, extra point, no good. And that's how we've reached the 13-0 point here with about 6 minutes to play in the first half. And it's been all Titusville's defense, if you ask me.
Well, Titusville's been able to keep him in it because of the turnovers, but again, Titusville's offense has got to get something going here. They haven't really had a chance to really start running the football. They're down 13-0. I know they want to try and move the ball with Josiah Allen's arm, but he just hasn't had the time to really to go through his progressions, get the ball to his receivers. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach John Holmes wants to do on this offensive drive because, again, all they need is to string a couple first downs together, flip this field position, and we can be, again, this game's not out of hand by any means, but they just need to flip the field position, give themselves an opportunity here to get some breathing room for that defense if they need it.
And we're going to get a false start here, and that's what you don't want to see, and that's going to be on number 7 for Titusville. That's the thing, and that's the other thing you mentioned earlier, Knock. They have played from behind the sticks tonight, and that is.
And they're going to play behind them again. First down and 15.
Exactly where they're going. Last year, you look at this Titusville offense. They didn't set the world on fire last year offensively, but they scored enough to allow that defense to make some plays. So they got to get some points here.
First down and 15. Allen looking deep, looking for a man. That's Stephens, and that'll be incomplete. And there is a penalty flag A lot of contact on that sideline, and that's going to be a big first down for the Terriers.
I got to tell you what, I'm all the way across the field, but I watched that play develop. I'm going to disagree with the call. I mean, listen, I think a DB should be able to get his arm. He had him sideline blocked. I thought it was outstanding coverage. Did he have his arm in there? Yeah, but the DB's got to at least be able to arm check. I mean, come on.
That's a tough call there, and we'll see the referees march at 15 yards. So that should bring the Terriers to a first down, their first down since the first quarter.
That's a tough call, but look, the official was closer to his credit, so I'm sure I'm wrong.
Ball will get all the way up to the
Here's what I don't
33.
understand, okay? All right, now you're going to have to help me through this in a minute, all right? You're going to have to help me through this in a minute because I got a question.
First down and 10 is the ball
Second
handed
and
off
one.
to Christian. Oh, second and 1. It was a first down.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing. So it's first down and 10, right? There's a false start. They back them up 5 yards.
Yeah.
That's 15. So now it's first and 15. There's a pass interference penalty, which is 15 yards, right? How is it not first and 10?
I do not know.
I mean, how do you lose a yard on a 15-yard penalty? That, you know what I'm saying?
I know. Alan, I hear you, brother. I hear you.
I'm just curious. If anybody knows, let me know.
Terriers
I'm trying to learn.
Terriers will bring up second down and 1.5 here. Josiah Allen will hand it off to Stephens. Stephens going to the far side, turns it upfield, dives, maybe get to the original line of scrimmage. The man in there to stop it was Markel Gallants.
And look, and that yard we're just talking about is turning out to be huge, Knock.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's third down and 1 here for the Terriers. And, I mean, they got to convert here. So I thought that was a first down. So, again, we haven't had the Terriers' second first down yet.
And I think this might be what the officials are talking about here. You can't go from first and 10, false start, and it's first and 15. And then on the very next play, it's a 15-yard penalty. I guess my question is, how does it then become first and 1? That would be my question.
It's a good question. It's a good question. I wish I had an answer for you, brother.
I know, and I'm sorry you have to hear me complain. I'm going to go down at halftime and ask. It's the only way I'll learn.
Anthony Moore and his crew talking things over. I'm curious what they do here. Do you if they're discussing it, do you go to first down and 10? Do they make that change?
He's going to explain this to Chris Sands here, and I don't know that Chris is going to be happy with this, and I wouldn't be if I were him either.
All right, so.
Well, they're just going to leave things the way they are.
Well, we'll see. I'm seeing points for first down. So yeah, I guess we're not moving it. I don't know what the conference was about then necessarily.
Yeah, I'm sure it was about that, but I think because it's the Kickoff Classic, you're just going to play on here.
Allen hands off. I believe that was Ralph Smith, and that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, I think they pick it up there, much to the relief of the officials.
So the second first down picked up by the Titusville Terriers, a short gain there by Ralph Smith. Be first down and 10, ball sitting on the 34-yard line of the Titusville Terriers. 13-0. The Eau Gallie Commodores leading the Terriers right now. Again, we do apologize that we don't have the scoreboard up, but right now our scoreboard is out, so is time. So time we will not know, but we will paint you the scoreboard or paint you the score about every 60 to 90 seconds.
Yeah, the app is out because we can't get a decent upload. There's a lot of power failures around here tonight. So
a lot of lightning here early.
Yeah, we can't get the app up, but at least you can still watch.
First down and 10, trips to the near side. Josiah Allen quickly out to Jaden Brown. That one off his fingertips, and that'll be incomplete. So it'll bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, Titusville right now struggling. I mean, they needed four downs there, Knock, to pick up a yard. So they're going to have to figure something out. Titusville, I don't believe, has even crossed the 50-yard line yet, Knock.
They have not. So far, the farthest they have been is where they started.
Oh, look, C.G. McDowell just asked the same question. Have they?
What's that?
Across the 50?
No, they have not. The closest they've been is the 42-yard line. That's the closest the Terriers have been so far tonight. And so far they have not crossed midfield. We'll see if they can do that on this drive as it brings up 2nd down and 10. We'll see Wiggins and Smith, the receivers, to the near side. Ray Wilson, the receiver, to the far side. Stephens, the running back, to the right of Allen. 3-step drop. Allen looks to throw out to Stephens in the flats. Stephens turns it upfield, and he'll be out of bounds. Gain of about 5, I would say. It looks like, at least the far official. He's backing it up now. So a gain of about 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
I'll tell you one guy I see down on the sidelines I'm extremely familiar with, and that's former astronaut War Eagles head coach Justin Warden. And what a great pickup by Chris Sands to get the former War Eagle head coach on his staff. This is a heck of a staff he's got here.
Yeah.
Trent Guy. I mean, the list goes on and on. Justin Warden. Just a great coaching staff here.
Yeah, and he had Billy Miller last year.
Yeah.
Picked up a win last night. Trips to the far side. 3rd down and 7. Ball needs to get to the 44-yard line of the Terriers to pick up a 1st down.
There's my man Calvin Wright asking the same question. One of the head of the officials for the MCOA. Calvin, tell me if I'm wrong, buddy. I don't know where the lost yard went.
So a 5-yard penalty, delay of game on the Terriers. That'll back them up 5. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 12 now for the Terriers. Again, they've just been playing behind the sticks tonight.
Yeah, all night.
Unfortunately. Again, it's been a credit to the Eau Gallie defense. They've gotten sacks on Josiah Allen. They haven't allowed him a lot of time to throw the football, and they haven't really opened up any running lanes for Stephens either.
No.
But, again, the penalties hurting the Titusville Terriers here tonight. Again, ball needs to get to the Terrier 44 for a 1st down. Trips to the far side. Allen looking, throws in the middle of the field, and that one is picked off by the Commodores defensive back, Caleb Puzzi, as he's a junior continuing to run, and he is brought down at about the 12 to 13-yard line. A flag comes in late.
I tell you what, Knock, that's just great concentration there off the tip drill. He stayed focused on that. What year is that young man?
Caleb is a junior.
There you go, junior. That's just a tough night continues, unfortunately, for Titusville. But Ogalli, I'll tell you what, that defense, Knock, lights out.
Yeah, that defense has just absolutely been good tonight. They've been sound assignments. Again, just a tough one. I like the pass there. Ray Wilson was the intended receiver. Unfortunately, the ball just off the hand and up in the air, and that gave a chance for Caleb Puzzi to go grab that and get an interception. And again, the Eau Gallie Commodores with a short field. Again, they've been in plus territory the last 3 drives.
And that's going to go against Eau Gallie, and Chris Sands will correct that issue. I believe it's a...
Both teams have had trouble with penalties tonight.
Yeah.
So Galley's had their issues at times with penalties. They lost a penalty, or they lost a touchdown because of a penalty back in the first.
Coach will fix that.
So after the penalty, the ball will be moved back to the 20. Latson hands off to Williams. Williams right up the gut, and he'll be brought down at about the 16-yard line.
We got to be getting close to the end of the first half here. The band is around the field. Band always knows what time is left.
Oh, yeah.
As you hear the offensive coaching staff of the Eau Gallie Commodores in the background, hurrying them back to the line, and let's see what happens.
Trips to the top of your screen. Williams gets the handoff once again, and he'll be brought down.
It's a nice tackle there.
Terriers, Bill Jefferson in on the stop. Nice job by the defensive tackle.
13-0. Eau Gallie looking for their 3rd score of the half. An opening kickoff for a touchdown. A little swing pass for a touchdown. Off a play fake, and extra points missed. And the Commodores now inside the Kel-Clean red zone here. Look, they can get a 1st down, but they want a touchdown.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure. They might have 1 or 2 timeouts left, but they haven't used them yet. And again, we don't know exactly how much time they have left here before halftime, but there is a sense of urgency to get back to the line. 3rd down and 3. Latson hands off to Williams again. He'll pick up the first
Good
down
run.
and more.
Good run.
And Williams, did he get to the end zone? No, he'll be short by a yard.
Now the clock will stop to move the stick. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1, but that's just a great run, great vision there, Knock. And seeing the hole, leaning inside, good shift, and right back to the line of scrimmage come the Commodores.
1st down and goal from the 1. Latson going to keep it himself. Turns it upfield, dives across the goal line for a Commodore touchdown.
All right, there you go, Jay Latson. Good play.
Again, it's worth mentioning once again that the Eau Gallie Commodores do not have Crooms, their starting quarterback tonight, nor their top receiver, D.L. Hardinson. Both guys out tonight for Coach Chris Sands. And I'll tell you what, Alan, I mean, you don't necessarily want to see your starting quarterback out of a game. But, again, seeing Jay Latson and what he's done tonight, got to give Coach Sands some confidence as the kick is blocked by the Terriers. And so the extra point, no good. They'll have to work on that during special teams during the practice next week.
I'll tell you what, 20-0 now. Eau Gallie on top. Yeah, they're going to have to figure that out up the middle.
Actually, 19-0.
19-0. I keep saying it. 19-0 as they mixed it. Is that the end of the half? Yeah, it looks to be.
No. Maybe it's kickoff.
No, I saw the band coming out, and I thought, well, that's it. I wonder what Twitter Spaces will be like at halftime.
We'll see. I mean, right now it's all Eau Gallie Commodores.
What do you call that now? Is it Twitter Spaces, X Spaces? What's going on?
I think everybody still calls it Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah. Go ahead and recap things for you. As we started the game, we had Latavius Welch with a 100-yard kick return for a touchdown. Extra point was good. Gave us a 7-0 lead for the Eau Gallie Commodores back in the first. Then we had a couple of turnovers between both the Terriers and the Commodores. We go into the second quarter. Jay Latson to Emmanuel Small for a 9-yard touchdown pass. Extra point, no good. The Eau Gallie Commodores then lead 13-0. And on that last drive, which was about 3 plays, Jay Latson taking it himself from 1 yard out. 19-0 as the extra point was no good, as you just saw. And that is how we have 19 points on the scoreboard for the Eau Gallie Commodores so far tonight. And none for the Terriers.
And 19 push-ups, as you saw there from the Commodore cheerleaders.
Good high kick here. That is going to be Jackson who returns it. Makes one man miss, goes to the far sideline and out of bounds. And the Terriers, well, decent field position. Be short of the 30, about the 28-yard line. So, again, not bad, but not great.
So, I'm looking at this Heritage score against Jensen Beach, and it's 15-2 Heritage, I believe. And I know a lot of the 18 transfers in this year and a lot of scuttlebutt during the offseason. We're going to talk about this Sunday night.
Make sure you tune in, folks.
Yeah, because we're going to have our own Twitter Spaces going Sunday night on Facebook Live as we preview the entire high school football season. We will have had an opportunity to see some of the kickoff classics.
Yeah.
And we'll really be able to break this down. It'll be 8, 9, 10 of us Sunday night. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out.
So you've assembled quite the team there.
Yes,
Alan.
yes we have. And so 7:30 Sunday night right here on Brevard Sports Network. No mouthing off sports talk this week.
Oh, I can't talk about the Bucks and their game against the Jets tomorrow?
Which I know all of you watch religiously every week. All 6 of you.
Ray Wilson gets the handoff, tries to turn direction, but is brought down by Larice. And that'll be back to the original line of scrimmage, so it brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Titusville Terriers. I know we got to be winding down to halftime here. Again, not seeing the sense of urgency here with little time left before halftime. See what Coach Holmes and his staff do at halftime and what kind of adjustments they want to make as this Gallie Commodore defense has been all over this Terrier offense here this evening.
Get close here.
Ralph Smith as well as Brandon Wiggins, the receivers to the near side. I actually checked that that's Kamari Jackson, the receiver to the near side. Allen hands off to Stevens. Stevens, one leg goes to the near side. Try and lowers his shoulder. In on the stop.
Stephens having a tough night. Now, you know it's not the kind of year that young man's going to have, but certainly having a rough go of it here against that Commodore defense.
But recent Ray Berry in on the stop for the Commodores defense. A gain of a couple brings up third down and a long 6 here for the Terriers.
Now, I like the adjustment Titusville made from that opening drive to that second drive. Like, they moved the football a little bit then, but nothing since.
It's just been tough sledding. Again, you got to give credit to the Commodores defense. They've got 5 sacks already tonight. They put a lot of pressure on Allen for the Terriers. And it's been tough sledding for him just to have time to just evaluate what he wants to do with the football.
Looks like we got a timeout here on the field. Not sure how much time left, but again, winding down 19-0. Ogalli on top.
So far, the Commodores, again, as we mentioned, 5 sacks. Sandman Thompson with a couple, Gowans with a couple, Roberts with a sack as well here tonight for the Commodores. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Tavius Welch since that first quarter. We've seen a lot of Delvonte Williams. We've seen Emmanuel Small as well here in the second quarter for the Eau Gallie Commodores.
Well, Welch probably proclaimed himself ready to play with a 100-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially on a just a humid night tonight.
Oh, it's terrible.
Especially after that rainstorm that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, that's something I didn't miss in Montana, just the humidity.
Or mosquitoes?
Oh, them too.
Yeah, but you got snow in what, like?
October.
October?
Earliest I got snow is October 3rd.
Wow. I wouldn't even know what to do.
I didn't either. 3rd down and 7 for the Terrier offense. Allen calls for the snap. It is low. And Allen is going to take a knee, and I think that's going to do it for us, and we are going to go to the half. That's the only reason I can imagine that Allen would take that play. And we don't have a clock. We don't have the scoreboard to tell us. So
that's half.
That is halftime. The Eau Gallie Commodores lead the Titusville Terriers 19-0 here, Allen.
All right, so what we're going to do is I would leave. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put Chase in charge of it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to unplug so that you can hear the band, because I think the band should get love.
Commodores got a good band.
Yeah, they do. So I'm going to unplug so you can hear the band. Chase is going to come up here, and then when the band's done playing, he's going to hit the mute button. Brevard Sports Network is not responsible for anything you hear outside on the open mic. So here comes the Eau Gallie Commodores band. All right, so what you want to do, come on up here. Until the band gets out there and actually starts playing, right? See this right here? That's the microphone. Just hit that, and then once the band's done, hit it again.
You may now begin your show. Make it a big show.
play a ball for your marching on the Commodores.
The field is not well marked. It's a little bit of a struggle. I think I'll do it.
He said the same thing last time.
What do you think? Coco had really good field, early success. 71. Yeah, I like Coco on the road. The jerseys are unbelievable. Silver, rose and orange on black. Not a good combination.
Hey, you have a copy of the rosters? Yeah. Okay.
Been about 4 or 5 sacks. Right. Yeah, right now. I go to this. said so. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because he also did that baseball.
you know,
Let
sure.
them go behind the one that's off the back table.
Well, did he? I'm not even sure. What do they have going on at that stadium on the platform? See anything going on with those games?
Yeah, supposedly, from what I've heard,
I've never heard any publicity.
I guess there's a lot of things.
I mean, I was looking for summer work and they should have just dropped by there in person so they could announce it. I didn't think about it.
You never know though, because it's just like I think it's a team or an organization that treats the space. So you just like, you don't know what that stadium is. List of rules.
I mean, I do work for the Triple S Athletic, the softball team, and they're doing tournaments.
This is still
No. They only had 9 home games, so that wasn't very much. They get paid 9 games just to pay the bills.
even the manatees when they were still doing it.
Did it for 12 years. Listen, they're over 700 games. I kind of miss them, but it's such a long season. They were barely getting a summer vacation. But they're nice to have. Yeah, I kind of miss it. I mean, they could have more summer income during these days. That's for sure. 70 games. They did like 63 and 70. They decided to take a vacation sometimes. Almost.
There's so many. It's a long stretch. I'm sure we can jump in. Those guys get at least like they don't do 116 games. I wouldn't think.
Especially TV and radio. I think you're off.
I love Bob Euchre, but I know Euchre doesn't go on the road.
Who doesn't?
Euchre. Bob Euchre.
But that's the number 2 guy got.
I'm guessing so. And the number 2 and number 3 guys. She's earned a couple of years. Oh, I'm sure.
Sterling with the Yankees like 83, Musburger's like 83. I mean, they're all
What kind of sad when they die?
What?
It's sad when they die.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sterling kind of gets my nerves. I listen to the Yanks and the XM radio. He's still okay. I remember doing the Islanders in the 70s. I was working for New York. He was really good. I thought. I don't go.
And welcome back. Great halftime performance by the Commodores band. 19-0 here.
19-0, and I'll tell you what, 21-21, Lake Brantley and Melbourne, Allen.
Yeah,
Jackson gets the return, trying to find some room, reverses field, gets a good block. A flag comes in. I don't know if that's I thought that was an okay block. I don't see the issue there.
we good? I heard a score that shocked me. Knock Carrollwood 24, Rockledge nothing.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That is an interesting score.
Yep, I was down talking to the head cheerleading coach, and I got the names of the cheerleaders down there doing those push-ups, so I'll read them off here in a minute.
So an update, Rockledge down 31-0.
Wow. Look, I'm just saying, Carrollwood ain't Duncanville. They're going to go down and play Duncanville, Texas in a couple of weeks. And so
well, it is a kickoff classic, so how much is Wayne Younger really putting? How much are they just going vanilla here? That is a good question for the Rockledge Raiders.
No, and I'll be curious to go back and watch the game later because I'm definitely going to watch it.
So Titusville with a penalty. I believe that was an illegal block, so that'll knock them back. It'll be first down and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Titusville Terriers as we begin the third quarter. Again, the Commodores leading 19-0.
I want to say thanks to Chase Alexander for bringing you that halftime show. Chase got everything hooked back up, ready to go. I walked in the booth, and bam!
Ray Wilson, a man of motion, gets the handoff, turns upfield. He'll gain a couple yards as we see the Titusville Terriers run the football here on that first down. Gains about a yard, so bring up second down and 9.
Not only that, Knock, but when I came up to the press box before the game, everything was plugged in, connected, and I was like, wait a minute, this guy don't work for Brevard Sports Network. That don't happen here.
Now, hey, Chase is showing us that you get a promising intern.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're going to get to hear him broadcast tomorrow as we do the Bayside Bears youth football all day against Volusia County. Caleb and Chase will be on the call for that.
Josiah Allen now doubles formation, 2 receivers to each side. Stephens back as he gets the handoff. And the Eau Gallie Commodores defensive line meets him at the line of scrimmage. Big Sandman Thompson there on the stop, but unfortunately it looks like he's down at the moment.
Uh-oh. That's got, well, he's clutching something, so I hope he's okay. Normally we don't show injuries, but Sandman looks to be up and catching his breath here. Listen, man, it's brutal out there in terms of heat and humidity. Sandman's been working all season, but he's playing both sides of the football. A guy Sandman's size can lose 10, 12 pounds in a game like this, Knock.
Yeah, I know all about that. I tried putting on weight. I couldn't do it. I was I think it was like 183 pounds playing nose tackle.
Yeah, I was watching training camp reports this week around the NFL, and these guys lose a ton of weight during I noticed my Ravens signed Jadeveon Clowney today.
We'll see if he has an impact.
Well, he's out till week 5. He hurt his wrist signing the contract.
I was going to see, how long is that injury list yet for you guys? It's usually long at this point.
Don't get me started.
We'll see Alex Christian in the backfield with Josiah Allen. Ray Wilson and Kamari Jackson, the receivers, to the near side. Third down and 9. Ball needs to get to the 35-yard line of the Terriers for a first down. 3-step drop. Allen quickly looking for Brandon Wiggins, who makes the catch and goes out of bounds. A big play there for the Terrier offense as they'll take it to the 47-yard line.
I know Eric Pierce just checked in, so let me give the score now. 19-0, Eau Gallie Commodores.
A 21-yard pass and catch between Wiggins and Allen. So that'll bring up first down and 10. And as Allen mentioned, Commodores up 19-0 in Titusville. We'll see what kind of halftime adjustments Coach John Holmes made. And so far on this first drive,
well, there's
solid
the
things.
first one right there.
Yeah.
And I think the message to Josiah Allen, who's just a junior, get the ball out a little quicker, and to the receivers, be looking for it sooner.
Allen going to keep it, tries to make one man miss. And I'll tell you what, Emmanuel Small coming up from the defensive back position makes the tackle on Josiah Allen. It'll be a loss of 2 yards. It'll be knocked back to the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 12.
And I believe Allen's helmet came off. Did his helmet
Yeah, his helmet came off.
So they're going to have to play 3rd down without their quarterback.
2nd down.
Is it 2nd or 3rd?
2nd down.
2nd down without their quarterback here. And so, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here for their backup quarterback, as Stephens also out at the moment. He's going to the sideline. So looks like Titusville head coach John Holmes is going to take a timeout.
I think they get him back now. I think they get him back. You can burn a timeout and get your player back if he loses his helmet, and that is precisely, it appears, what John Holmes is doing here. Knock, I just want to take an opportunity to thank you and the rest of the staff at Brevard Sports Network, as we are set to bring you at least 90% of Cocoa, Satellite, Viera, and Heritage football this year. We're excited about that. You'll see all the teams that they play, as we're not sure how much time is left here in the 3rd quarter, but the Commodores are on top 19-0.
Commodores so far, again, defensively have just been strong. Again, from the defensive line to the
They're
secondary.
fast.
They got speed, man.
They got speed.
We're going to see Jaden Brown as well as Kamori Jackson, the receivers on the near side. See Ray Wilson come in and play quarterback.
So maybe they don't get him back.
Again, 2nd down and 13. Wilson got plenty of time. Going deep, looking for Jaden Brown, and it's actually caught by Brandon Wiggins. Wiggins does a nice job making the catches, and Eau Gallie Commodore also down at the moment. A couple of Commodores down at the moment. But again, a big play in the passing game. 2 big passing plays for the Titusville Terrier offense.
You know what we call that? That's called X play. And that's hit the X button and throw it up.
I was going to say, Jaden Brown along with Wiggins were in the vicinity for that football, and it was Wiggins who comes down with it, hit immediately, I believe, by Larice. And again, Titusville now, they have crossed the 50, and the Titusville Terriers now in a position to put some points on the board. 1st down and 10 inside the Commodore 30-yard line.
I don't want to make light of the catch, though, because that was an outstanding catch. The way that he concentrated and hauled that in. He had guys on him, Knock, and still brought it in. Listen, the quarterback, he did a good job getting rid of the football.
Oh, yeah. He also had a good time.
Yeah, I think he just threw it up in the vicinity of some receivers, and his prayers were answered.
Wilson with a 30-yard completion to Wiggins. Josiah Allen back in at quarterback. See Wilson, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen. Jackson, the running back, to Allen's left. Trips to the far side. Ball on the 27-yard line, and we have got a timeout for the Eau Gallie Commodores, so a little defensive confusion for the Commodores.
As Justin Warden will call over the defense, and again, Justin Warden, the former astronaut War Eagle head coach, and just another great member on the staff here for Chris Sands. I want to give a big shout-out to all the cheerleaders out there working hard in this heat and humidity, too. Taylor Carden, Tori Boomhour, Kaylee Head. We got Rebecca Head. We got Yenora George. We got Lily Jamel. We got Abby Moore. We got Allie Morgan. We got Maddie Humphrey, Chloe Moore, Maddie Wall, Sanaya Coakley, Scarlett Seo, Destiny Snyder, Kaylee Berneski, Emmy Ramirez, and Jocelyn Hill. That makes up your 2023 Eau Gallie Commodore varsity cheerleading team.
Gallie Commodores cheerleaders got some push-ups in today.
Yeah, you know what? Looks like if the Terriers can keep this drive going, the Terrier cheerleaders will be doing something here in a minute.
Gallie Commodores currently leading 19-0 over the Titusville Terriers, but 2 big pass plays from both Josiah Allen and Ray Wilson have set up the Terriers inside Commodore territory for the very first time tonight, as we are in the early stages of the third quarter. Again, we have no scoreboard. We have no time. All we have is a score for you. As we said, the Commodores 19-0 over the Terriers as Jackson gets the handoff from Allen, running to his right and brought down quickly by a Commodore defender. I believe that was... That might have been Willie Lewis. Actually, no, that was Biggs. Biggs on the tackle for that one.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, and I didn't even need to flip a coin for this one, that this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think so. Gain of 1 brings it to the 26-yard line for the Titusville Terriers. Wilson and Jackson, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Stephens. No, that's Christian, I'm sorry. Christian will catch the handoff. Or, is that Stephens?
Yeah,
Jamarion Stephens takes the carry and is – no, that's Christian.
You know, the play I think they need to go back to, Knock, is that quick screen across the middle. I think it's a great call for right here. 3rd down. Now, you don't need to pick up all 13 yards on this play here, but they're coming up the middle still here halfway through the third quarter, fast and furious. Now would be a good time for that quick screen. Slip Stephens in behind the linebackers and drop one over to him and see if he can make a play here.
Well, right now, we're not seeing Stephens out at the moment. It's Ralph Smith, the receiver at the top of your screen. Ray Wilson, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Jackson and Christian, the backs in the backfield with Josiah Allen. Ball needs to get to the 18-yard line for a first down. Allen quickly throws, looking for Ray Wilson, and it's picked off by Larice at the 1-yard line. Larice coming up the near sideline. He's got some blockers in front of him, and he'll be knocked. No, he's still in bounds, still on his feet. Larice trying to stay on his feet again as Ralph Smith finally brings him down. What a return. About a 74-yard interception return by Larice as a promising Titusville Terrier drive ends in an interception.
There will be, by the time Larice is a senior, and you can mark my words right now, there will be no better playmaker in this county than Xavier Larice. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but that young man is as talented as they come.
Xavier Larice with a big interception return. The Commodores quickly to the line as they're trying to tack onto their 19-0 lead over the Titusville Terriers as we're getting roughly towards the midway point here of the third quarter.
Another former Eau Gallie Commodore watching, Jared Baker on here. And want to say hello to Jared Baker.
So right now, Barbaro, the receiver at the bottom of your screen, trips to the top as Williams will take the handoff, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. He'll get it to the 20-yard line, a pickup of about 5 for the Commodores.
It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Commodores from the 20-yard line.
Gallie Commodores offensive line to Sean Lang, Redmond Thompson, Sandman Thompson, Robert Hooger, and DeMoss Pitts leading the way for the backs and receivers as Williams is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Isaac Russell, the outside linebacker outside defensive end / linebacker for the Terriers.
I mean, he literally ran up the side. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep the camera with him.
3rd down and we'll call it 6 for the Commodores. They can get to the 15.
Rick Rivers with the answer of the night, Rick. Rick, that's a good answer right there. Somebody said, who is Rockledge playing? And Rick Rivers' response was, somebody they shouldn't be.
Latson looking to throw, and this one's going to be too far out in front as it hits the corner pylon. The intended receiver, Dawson Barbaro. We do got a flag on the field.
And I think we're going to get an ejection here. This is going to be roughing the passer on Latson, and then I think he's going to be ejected for the trash talk after this.
Yeah, I was going to say, Anthony Moore with his hat off. That is not a good sign if you're a Terriers fan.
Yeah, when the referees, as John Madden used to say, well, listen, Knock, when he throws the flag, right, the flag is one thing, right? But listen, when he reaches for other articles of clothing and starts tossing them around the field, then you got problems. And
Alan Slaughterzinski with your Mad impression
there
tonight.
There you go, right there.
So we'll wait for the call here as Chris Sands is going to get an opportunity to talk to his team. Coach Holmes about a couple of yards off the sideline waiting to find out what's going on. Trying to get some clarification. No signal yet from head referee Anthony Moore.
He's looking at Titusville on this one. Somebody's gone here.
So, yeah, I am.
No, I guess not. So this is just going to be
a 15-yard penalty.
Well, two of them. It's half the distance on the second one. So we're going to get a
roughing the passer.
Yep. And then here comes the personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh. So the official threw the hat for the second flag.
Right, for Ogalli. They called roughing the passer on Titusville, and then they call unsportsmanlike conduct on Ogalli. So where was the unsportsmanlike conduct? I didn't see it.
That must have been after the play.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It must have been, after the play. I didn't quite catch it either.
Unfair for me to criticize that, but I didn't see it, so I can't say. 19-0 here. Ogalli on top.
Coach John Holmes looking for an explanation from our official Anthony Moore. And I think this is going to be a water timeout. So Coach Holmes
He's not happy.
He's not happy about something. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the officials are having a meeting right now. Coach Holmes wanting referee Anthony Moore's attention, and Anthony Moore walking over to him. So Coach Holmes pleading his case. I'm not entirely sure for what exactly, but either way, pleading his case to the head official, Anthony Moore, right now as we come out of the water break. Again, first down and 10 after two penalties. Right now, the Eau Gallie Commodores leading the Titusville Terriers 19-0 after a 74-yard interception return from Xavier Larisi as the Titusville Terriers, with their best drive of the night, getting deep into Eau Gallie Commodore territory before Larisi spoiling their fun. All right, back to action. First down and 10 for the Commodores. Latson will hand off to Small. Small turns it upfield, gets the corner, and he's at the 10, the 5. Wilson will knock him out of bounds, and the official hits the ground as well.
And there you go, Doc. Officials are flying. Now we got some hitting going on out there.
All we need now is you to say turducken and actually have it.
We get a little closer to Thanksgiving. We'll start talking about turduckens. See, you got the turkey over here, and you got the duck over here, and that's a turducken.
We got another penalty, and this is going to be on the Eau Gallie Commodores.
Yeah, that's the
Didn't catch what the penalty was.
The one thing you don't want to see Eau Gallie become this year is what happened to poor Palm Bay last year, and that was they had all the talent in the world, but it was undisciplined. You know, they played undisciplined at times, and it cost them big in games. And you don't want to see that happen to Eau Gallie.
So it's going to be a 10-yard penalty, so my guess would be a holding penalty on the Commodores. It'll back them up, first down and 20. Take them all the way back to 35.
For the Commodores, it'll be a first down and 20 from the Terrier 35.
We'll see Robinson and Biggs, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Small and Williams, the backs in the backfield with Latson. As we see first down and 20 for the Commodores. Williams will catch the handoff, goes right up the gut, and brought down quickly by multiple Terriers as Isaac Russell gets thrown to the ground. Titusville wanting a flag, not getting it right now. A little frustration from Isaac Russell, and I can't say that I blame him. I've been there.
Yeah, I don't know that was penalty worthy. He hit him right as the whistle blew, and unfortunately he just went flying.
Russell checks out. Bill Jefferson checks in for the Terriers. Barbaro, the receiver, at the top of your screen. Biggs and Robinson, the receivers, to the bottom of your screen. Robinson in the slot. Williams and Small, the backs in the backfield. Offset pistol. Latson looking to Coach Chris Sands for the call.
tell you what, Knock, Latson's done a great job tonight.
He really has. 2nd down and 20. Latson facing pressure. Throws it quickly for Barbaro, and that falls incomplete. What a play by the defensive back, Jaden Brown, as he closes in on that one and tips it away.
3rd quarter. Have we had the water break yet, Knock?
We have.
All right, so we are winding down on the 3rd quarter. 19-0 Eau Gallie on top. Want to thank all of our fantastic sponsors tonight as we get set to hit the 4th quarter here. I know it can't be long. Talk about some of the games coming up next week. And week 1 as they put the Kickoff Classics to bed.
Gallie Commodores up 19-0 over the Titusville Terriers right now in the 3rd quarter. Latson hands off to Small. Small turns the corner. He's got room to run as Ray Wilson lowers the shoulder for a second. The official's going to say that Small lost the football after he hit the ground. And Manuel Small comes up a little bit, so he's going to go to the sideline. But not quite enough for 1st down yardage, so it'll bring up 4th down. Decision time for Coach Chris Sands.
Yeah, I don't think there's a decision to make here. Go for it. The Kickoff Classic, no harm, no foul here.
Well, I mean, again, I can't remember off the top of my head. Maldonado's your kicker here.
He's a good kicker, but I think, it's humid out. I think put your 4th and short offense in right now. That way you've got something on film that you can watch heading into week 1.
So Gonzalez checks into the ball game. We got Williams to the left of Latson. Right now a little confusion, and we're going to see a timeout taken by Coach Chris Sands as he wants to discuss this 4th down play. Again, the ball sitting on the 18-yard line, needs to get to the 15 for a 1st down for the Commodores.
And once again, we want to thank some of our fantastic sponsors because without them, we got an ambulance coming in. I hope it's not pulling in here. Best Private Investigation. Tell you what, they do a terrific job. BlackRock Engineering and Technology Solutions, Property Management, as well as Global Polygraph Analysis. Zone 6 Reapers. How about KelClean? Looking for power washing. And Ubrazati. All of them. The Ubrazati Thursday night pregame show starts this Thursday night. Daryl Duran reports John Carroll 14-3 over Holy Trinity in the 4th. The Melbourne Bulldogs also up on John Carroll 28-21, I think he reported.
So to say, Jackson and Caleb and Logan got a good one again tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the title turn for us, Knock.
4th down and short. Latson hands off to Williams, and Williams is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Allen and Jefferson for the Terriers makes the stop. Do we have a flag?
No, I thought I saw one fly, but I guess we don't. But I don't think that's the 4th down offense there, Knock.
No, I wouldn't say so. But again, Ogalli's had some success with that play, but great job by Jefferson and Allen stopping that before it gets going. Again, Williams tonight has just been so tough to stop once he gets beyond the line of scrimmage.
Was everybody able to see the halftime show okay, Chase? Good.
So right now, the Titusville Terriers will take over on their own. Called a 19-yard line. Again, the Commodores lead 19-0 here in the 3rd quarter. We have not switched over to the 4th quarter, and if you're just joining us, we have no time and no scoreboard as Lightning hit the scoreboard. So right now, time is anybody's guess. 1st down and 10. Allen, 3-step drop, quickly throws, looking for Ralph Smith, and it's picked off by Larice once again. And Larice still on his feet at the 10, changes direction at the 5, and he'll waltz into the end zone for a touchdown.
Xavier Larice.
And we got a flag on the back end.
As Xavier Larice had a pick 6 to end the spring game, and he has one here to nearly end the 3rd quarter. And right now, Ogalli, if they can convert the extra point, will be just 7 points away from a running clock. That's going to be a post-touchdown flag. The touchdown's going to stand. I want to say this is going to be some sort of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Titusville sideline, it would appear to me anyway, the way that flag was thrown.
So, Alan, you talked about how much of a playmaker Larice is going to be. 2 straight drives, 2 interceptions. He almost had a pick 6 on the last one. He took it 74 yards. This time he takes it the rest of the way.
We told you. We told you to start the broadcast. In fact, if you read the post to this game, it says in there, keep an eye on Xavier Larice in the secondary. I mean, he's an athlete, and he trains hard. He works. Let me tell you a story about Xavier Larice from Little League Baseball, Knock, and I'll wait until after the kick, because this is a telling story about the type of student athlete he is.
So the Eau Gallie Commodores looking to go for 2 here. Right now the score 25-0.
They need to practice those snaps on those. They need to practice
they've
those
had
extra
2 blocked.
points. Yeah.
They've had 2 blocked, but they're going to try and go for 2 here.
And the Commodores are going to go for 2.
So right now we got 2 receivers to the far side. That looks like Biggs and Robinson. Barbaro, the receiver, down on the bottom of your screen. Williams to the right of Latson. Big Brandon Brown as your fullback. Biggs, the man in motion, fakes the handoff. Latson looking to throw. Goes to the middle of the field, and that'll be broken up as that was intended for Makai Briggs. So again, the extra point comes up empty for the Commodores. Your score remains 25-0. Eau Gallie over the Titusville Terriers.
So a couple of years ago, broadcasting Little League Baseball, Xavier Larice hit a couple of balls off the top of the fence in a game that I was broadcasting. So I made the comment where I said, a little young, not quite over the fence power, warning track power, whatever I said. So he went home, he watched the broadcast, Knock, and that next day in his yard with his father, Manny Larice, all he did all day long before the next All-Star game that night was take cuts, swing, practice. He had 3 home runs in the game that night.
Wow.
That's the type of student athlete that Xavier Larice is.
That's the thing you got to respect, too, because, just, wanting to go in there and just work on the craft.
Yeah.
Essentially, as the kids say, go in the lab
Yep.
and work on what you love to do.
He has a great teacher, and his parents are outstanding. And, of course, Manny is the girls' head basketball coach here at Eau Gallie, and last season took them to a regional semifinal. So, good things happening in the Larice household.
Brandon Brown will likely squib or pooch kick this one. Oh, actually, no. He got a good kick on this one, as we'll see Christian back to receive. Check that. That was Dwight Jenkins. Jenkins turns it up the middle of the field, and he'll be brought down by a host of Commodores. Ball be spotted roughly at the 35-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for John Holmes, Titusville Terriers.
Rockledge, we believe, was losing 31-0 to Carrollwood Day. Now, Carrollwood Day's out of Miami, so I think, pretty sure, right?
Not entirely sure. I haven't quite figured out my Florida geography yet.
If I said Bozeman, what would you say?
I would know that one.
Right.
But there's actually a Bozeman. I think it's Bozeman, Florida, or is it Bozeman, Alabama? I can't remember.
I don't know, but I know you know those ones. Knock was back. Knock and I began broadcast. It's funny, Knock, because I pulled the pictures. I'm going to put them up on Facebook tomorrow of our first ever game we broadcast together. 9 years ago, Knock.
Was it 9?
It was at Cocoa Tiger Stadium then, and last night your return back to Cocoa Tiger Richard Dick Blake Stadium. It was great seeing the two side by side.
Allen throws it and it's picked off by Brendan Brown. The big man is going to go all the way for a big man touchdown. The Eau Gallie Commodores sniffed out that screen.
That was a one-handed grab right there.
So right now that puts the score 31-0 at the moment. Extra point or 2-point conversion pending.
Carrollwood's from Tampa. Okay, Carrollwood's from Tampa. I got you. The lady said, what the heck's the guy talking about? Talking about Carrollwood Day and Rockledge. I didn't know where Carrollwood Day was from, so that's why I asked.
Brandon Brown with a 34-yard touchdown, interception return for a touchdown for the defense. Back-to-back defensive touchdowns. Again, the offense has looked good at times tonight, and obviously they don't have their starting quarterback. They don't have their starting receiver.
It's okay to be a team especially in high school football, it's okay to be a team led by your defense.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, based on what I've seen tonight from this football team and heard from some of the coaches off the record before the game, it's going to be this defense. Now, Guy Trent will get this offense dialed in to where they're not turning balls over, they're making plays, they're putting points on the board. But I would say you put these two units out on the field, and Ogalli's going to be real happy with their defense.
Well, here's a question for you, Alan. Is this the year of the defense in Brevard County? I'll let you ponder that one.
What was that question?
Is it the year of the defense in Brevard County? Is it defenses that reign supreme? Is that two-point conversion is incomplete?
You know what? And listen, let me say this. This is going to be a down year for offenses in this county. And you know what? The answer is simple. Because it's going to be a down year for the quarterback position in this county. You look across this county, we graduate Blake Boda, Hunter Turner. Think about the senior quarterbacks we graduated last year.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So, yeah, you got a lot of sophomores playing this position. So, yeah, offensively, you would expect a down year.
Well, and like you said, a lot of names gone, and that's and one of the fun things about high school sports. For every name that leaves, there's usually a name that comes back. So I think, and obviously we got to see with Hart from Cocoa, but Hart would be a guy that I would think of as a top quarterback. I think Vieira's got a top quarterback. His name escapes me at the moment.
Chase
Cromartie.
Yeah, but he's a junior, and he's coming off an 0-10 season. Now, look, he looked fantastic in the spring against the Bayside defense that hadn't really put anything together yet. Mitchell Turner said, stop making excuses. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Rockledge put the big boy schedule out there this year, and it didn't turn out so well in week one, did it?
Well, at least the Kickoff Classic.
Well, at least, right. So you're right. I'm not going to make excuses for him. I said I was going to go into this football year, and I was going to talk truth. There you go. Rockledge got beat bad tonight by Carrollwood Day, and I don't think they expected to.
Kick by Brandon Brown once again, as we'll see Alex Christian with the return. He gets some room to run on the far sideline. Still on his feet as he's brought down by Mackay Biggs. And the Titusville Terrier offense will start on their own 35-yard line. And once again, so far the Terriers back-to-back, or actually 3 turnovers on the opening possessions of the second half. An interception by Larice for 74 yards, an interception by Larice for a touchdown, and Brandon Brown.
Yeah, see, I need people to call me out. Mitchell knows. He will call me out when he's got to call me out. He's right. That's what I was doing, trying to take up for him. He got me. I'll give you that one.
So right now the Titusville Terriers offense coming out. Again, Titusville Terriers had a promising drive to open up the second half. They started on their own 25-yard line, 2 big pass plays. They were down to the Eau Gallie Commodore 26-yard line before an interception derailed that drive. See a new quarterback in for the Terriers. I think that's Kamari Jackson. Jackson going to keep it this time. Able to make one man miss. Gets to the sideline. He'll lose a yard.
Ooh.
We got a flag on the far sideline coming from the back judge.
Yeah, it might. When did he throw that? Because that might be a hit out of bounds. Yeah, I know you do, my friend. I know you love us. I appreciate that, too. But you still got to keep us honest, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep us honest.
Right now, your score 31-0. The Eau Gallie Commodores leading the Titusville Terriers here, as we are pretty much. I don't want to say. I don't think there's any games tomorrow, are there? Because we're pretty much wrapping up the Kickoff Classic this week tonight. Tonight. So
we get tomorrow's youth football. Everybody will turn their attention to the trash talk to youth football tomorrow.
What is it? I think Billy's got West Melbourne and somebody tomorrow.
Caleb's going to be down at Bayside. We're going to be doing Bayside Vieira Satellite this year for youth football. They reached out to us, and of course Rockledge as well. Shatina Brown. We're always going to be over there. Love Miss Shatina Brown and that Rockledge Raider youth football program. And of course Coco's 14U team is outstanding, and we'll be everywhere.
Ray Wilson now in at quarterback. He's going to go right up the gut, takes it himself, and he'll be brought down quickly. Didn't quite try to see who that is on the Eau Gallie Commodore defense that brought him down. Good open field tackle. That was by Caden Davis, the junior.
DeAndre Williams asked about Duncanville, Texas on the stream, Knock. Yeah, I can tell you about them. They were 15-0 last year and ranked number 5 in the country by USA Today. They have started the season, I believe, ranked back in the national top 10 again.
3rd down and 4. Wilson going to keep it as he runs to the near sideline. Makes one man miss. Flag comes in. Wilson with room to run, and he's tripped up by the Eau Gallie Commodores' Rayshawn Berry. Ray Wilson only had Larice to beat in the open field. But we'll see what the flag is. It could be a penalty against the Terriers. Again, a real positive play for the Terriers, but is it a penalty that brings it back? It's a holding penalty.
We compared that Cocoa and that Rock schedule, and we're going to do it again Sunday night in our preview show, so I hope all of you tune into that. But the combined record of the Rockledge's opponents this year from last year was a .650 winning percentage, and the combined winning you know what I'm trying to say, winning percentage for Coco's opponents from last year that they'll face this year was .649. Wow. Cocoa Rockledge is going to face 2 state champions, a Final 4 team, and a Final 8 team. Cocoa's going to face a state champ, a Final 4, and a Final 8 team, as well as a bunch of playoff teams. 9 of the 10 teams Cocoa will play were playoff teams last year, and 8 of the 10 Rockledge will play were playoff teams. So
Nate Lopez picks it up, and he's making something happen. He gets off one defender, still turning the legs as the Titusville Terriers' Nate Lopez turns nothing into something, and it's a first down for the Terrier offense.
Now here's where I'm going to get on Xavier Larice a little bit here. He didn't wrap up that time. He tried to shoulder tackle him, and as a result, he was able to bounce off of him and pick up extra yards. So he's got to wrap up. You got to wrap up, especially coming from that safety position. When you lower the boom, you want to complete the boom.
Yeah, and that takes it to the 46-yard line. First down and 10 is Wilson looking deep. He has a man named Ralph Smith, but it's too far out in front. And it looked like a little bit of a broken coverage by the Eau Gallie Commodores defense.
Or something.
I was about to say, fortunate for the defense as Wilson had Smith deep down the sideline.
I got to get used to this color commentary role. Normally I'm doing the play-by-play. I'm trying to think, I'm going through my head about things to talk about. It's 25-0, right?
31-0.
31-0. 31-0. So, yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we don't do rankings, but all of those people out there that do rankings that had put Rockledge on top, and I wonder how they, Now, listen, Cocoa played Satellite last night. And I don't know anything about Carrollwood, so I'm going to have to go do my research on them to find out who they are and what they do.
Second down 10. Wilson throws it, and it's intercepted by Larice again. Xavier Larice with 3 interceptions, 1 with a touchdown. I'll tell you what, he's having a Defensive Player of the Week award type night here tonight.
I'll tell you what, I'd take him out. I wouldn't put him back in the football game.
31-0 your score. The Eau Gallie Commodores in firm control of this one. Have we even ended the third quarter yet? Are we into the fourth?
You have not switched sides, Doc. JC, what quarter are we in?
This is the longest third quarter in history.
Oh, how are we still in the third quarter?
I don't know.
Tell me we've at least had the water break, man.
Again,
okay.
We had some chaos in this third quarter.
I want to say hello to Coach Greg Underwood. Coach Underwood. I love Coach Underwood. Does a terrific job wherever he is. 31-0, Eau Gallie on top. Another 4 points, and it won't matter where we are because the clock will run.
Right. Right now, Melbourne's still holding on to a 28-21 lead over Lake Brantley. Friends over there, Caleb, and Logan, and Jackson. On the call for that one is Eau Gallie will hand it off. We see a new quarterback in. That's Brody Grantland, the sophomore, as we got a flag now on the back end.
I think this young man right here is the future. He was outstanding youth quarterback and played well for JV last year. And so we'll see here. We'll see what he does here against some varsity level competition.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from him in pregame. When he was throwing those passes. Got a solid arm from what I saw in pregame.
Yeah. Xavier Reese having him a night tonight. Ended that spring game, as we noted, with a pick six and gets another one here tonight.
3 interceptions. I don't know how many tackles he's had, but definitely a guy that you could put up there for an award for Defensive Player of the Week at the Kickoff Classics.
Well, he's definitely a player of the game tonight.
Hand off to Williams once again as Williams churns those legs. Picks up a couple of yards. It'll be third down after a gain of about 4.5 yards. Third down and a long 4.5 yards for the Eau Gallie Commodores.
The battle for the number 3 spot this year. Well, who knows? I mean, with Rockledge losing the way that they did tonight.
I'm not ready to.
Well, I'm not either. But what I'm saying is you look at a team like Heritage, right? You look at a team like Rockledge, and on paper, nice tackle.
Williams taken down by Josiah Allen. You heard that one pop.
And I got to give it up for Josiah Allen. He's playing both sides of the football. He was the Titusville quarterback for 3/4 of this game to this point, and comes in and lowers his shoulder and makes a great hit.
We got another penalty flag on the back end here.
Yeah, what is this one about?
Again, folks, I'm not. I believe we are still in the third quarter.
Where do they? What side do they kick off to? Because first, yeah, this is the third quarter. Because Ogalli started off with a 100-yard kickoff return from that goal line. So yeah, this is the third quarter.
Personal foul on the Titusville Terriers, and that will give the Commodores a first down. So the Terriers with a good stop, but a penalty on the back end, and it will extend this Commodore drive.
Mr. Pierce says Rockledge players doing their best. They'll be okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's my thing, and again, we don't have any rankings, but I really think what's interesting here, you know what Heritage is, we know what Rockledge is, we know what Cocoa is. I think the interesting part is, for me at least, and this is where I take interest, is the teams that are just below that level, because we have those expectations for those 3 schools. Who's going to take over those roles behind those 3?
I think we're looking at one tonight right here. I think we're looking at the 4th best team in the county tonight right here on the football field.
Williams takes the handoff, short gain for him.
Certainly, I think with this defense and what this defense has done tonight, and listen, this is the Titusville returns a lot of players that went 7-4 last year, and they pick up a great transfer in Jamarion Stephens. So they just didn't go out here and beat up on an offense tonight it's not very good, Knock. This is a decent offense, and Ogalli just completely shut it down.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Titusville's actually moved the football a little bit better this half, but the problem's been the turnovers. I mean, back-to-back possessions, 4 possessions, 4 turnovers for the Terriers. This game was 19-0, wasn't necessarily out of the way, but now it's 31-0 here. And
end of the third quarter, finally.
As I say, finally the end of the third quarter.
And there's big Sandman Thompson down there, drinking out of the old Gatorade bottle. And Sandman took a trip to Oregon a couple of weeks ago, and he looked right at home. Up there. Him and his mom went up.
Right now, 31-0. The Commodores leading the Titusville Terriers as we enter the fourth quarter. Imagine at this point now we're going to start seeing some young players get some experience here at this point. Get some film.
Another score, run the clock. Here's Ogalli looking to do that with a sophomore. Is he a sophomore quarterback?
Yep, sophomore quarterback.
And
Grantland.
They lead it 31-0 over Titusville, and I imagine Twitter Spaces will be quiet on one side of the coin heading into the week.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Gonzalez and Williams, the backs in the backfield. Another whistle. And Titusville is going to take a timeout here.
That was interesting this week, and passionate is the best way to describe what we heard on Twitter Spaces this week.
Listen, there's nothing else that the Twitter Spaces proved. There are fans that are passionate about these programs.
You're not kidding, man. You are not kidding.
But I will say, though, sometimes the spaces are entertaining.
Oh, no, this was entertaining this week. I got a kick out of it. I don't normally listen to it.
But
and the big reason I don't like listening to it is because I don't want coaches thinking I'm trying to get in there and what's the word I'm looking for? Caleb loves it because Caleb loves drama, right? Caleb likes that, right? But I don't want coaches to think I'm dipping in to listen to try to get stories or whatever. But I had to listen this week because it was too good. I had to. But I personally try to stay out of Twitter Spaces.
Fair enough. As we return to action, 2nd down and 8, Commodores. Brody Grantlin in a quarterback. Robinson the man motion. Ball is on the ground, but a whistle quickly.
As Daryl Duran reports from the Brevard Sports Network studios, Heritage a winner tonight.
I don't disagree. I think you're right. We're watching a team, going back to what we were talking about earlier, Alan, just the teams, we're talking about Heritage based on expectation, based on the players they've brought in, Rockledge and Cocoa based on the pedigree and the success that they've had in the past. I think you're right. Ogalli's definitely there. But I'm just interested to see what that group's going to look like. Who else is going to join Eau Gallie in that group of teams as Nate Lopez and others try to go after the balls? We got another whistle. And another false start penalty.
Just want to say, I want to give a shout out to some of the teams we don't talk about all the time, and we've seen a lot of interest tonight for people asking for astronaut scores. And I want to give a shout out to Logan Halleck. Now, Knock, you'll recognize this name. You didn't get a chance to meet Logan because he was getting married, but Logan is the nephew of the late great Randy Halleck, who ironically his final coaching position before he passed away was right here at Eau Gallie. He was here with Chris Sands.
Latson hands off to Williams. Williams still turning those legs as he goes right behind his left guard.
But to have that Halleck name, Logan's young. He's offensive-minded. He was a quarterback at Appalachian State. He didn't play a lot, but he was like that leader. He was like a coach on the field or a coach on the sideline in shoulder pads. So it'll be good for them to have a Halleck there as well. And on the next whistle, I definitely want to give a big shout-out to some of our sponsors as the fourth quarter has started. I'll tell you about them after this play.
3rd down and 12. Latson rolls to his right. Now looking to throw maybe, and now he's trying to lose one defender, loses 3, and still running. Finally falls down as Jefferson there to make the stop for the Terriers. Latson running out of room to run to try and extend the play. Brings up 4th down at the 38-yard line. The Eau Gallie Commodores will punt it away.
Yeah, he covered more ground than Kutsu on that one to lose 12 yards. I want to thank Best Private Investigations, Connect, Sports Funding. I also want to thank BlackRock Engineering and Technology Solutions, Property Management. I want to thank Global Polygraph Analysis, Zone 6, Kel-Clean, Uber Zotti, and Archaic Kitchen and Bath.
We'll see. I believe that's Larice back to punt for the Commodores. It is.
And they set the house.
Good high punt. Not going to be returnable for the Terriers. And that ball bounced back all the way to the 26-yard line for the Terriers. Again, we saw Josiah Allen's night on that last drive. At least a quarterback come to an end. He's still playing some pretty good linebacker at the moment. We'll see what Coach John Holmes does here with this quarterback situation. Again, we are in the fourth quarter. Say the early stages still in the fourth as the Commodores currently lead 31-0 over these Titusville Terriers. Again, these games tonight mean nothing. Just good film for the coaches to break down and kind of get into that repetition of game week.
Remember what the first Kickoff Classic you ever broadcast was? I do.
You remember mine or you remember yours?
I remember mine.
I was going to say, I think I was supposed to do it. I actually don't think I got my first Kickoff Classic till after my first season. I know the first game I did.
You didn't because I filled in for you in the first one. You weren't there.
Well, but the first one I did was with Stephen Orville. as we'll see the Terriers.
But
Josiah Allen back
you
in.
were supposed to do Cocoa Beach and Orangewood Christian, and I think you had to work or something.
Yeah,
and
might have been it.
they called me up and they were like, "How'd you like the broadcast with us tonight?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sure, I'm ready. Put me in, coach."
It's funny. I think it was Cocoa Beach and it was somebody. I can't remember who the team they played, but I do remember Cocoa Beach and Tony Piccolo was the head coach at the time there.
Exactly.
And that was my first game getting to do here in Brevard County, which was a lot of fun. Second down and 10 for the Titusville Terriers. 31-0. The Commodores lead over the Terriers. Allen, three-step drop. Looking to go deep for Ray Wilson, and this one is going to be incomplete, and no flag thrown here. Looked like the Reese in on the coverage, and the coaches want a flag. Not going to get it.
Oh, I thought they should have had one there, but that's okay. I thought he was a little early. But, and you mentioned Tony Piccolo, and Tony Piccolo is back in Brevard County, comes back from East River, where he spent the last 5 years, and he is now the assistant head coach at Satellite with Brian Helton. It's good to have Coach Piccolo back.
Third down and 10 for the Terriers as they are trying to get to the 35-yard line for a first down. Third and 10 from the 25. Allen learning to get to the screen. Pressure coming from the Commodores defense. Allen now looks, drops one over to Ray Wilson. Question is, did he get it?
He does.
He did. He made the catch. An impressive catch there towards the sideline. And we got a flag here on the near sideline.
That's going to be on. That flag was just dropped. It might be a sideline warning. Nope, illegal man downfield.
Well, that play looked like it was supposed to be set up as a screen, but Ogalli sniffed it out. So Allen had to come up and improvise.
Yeah, it was a smart play by Josiah Allen. But the problem was the offensive lineman didn't hold, and I think you had not one but 5 guys illegally downfield as Ogalli leads this thing 31-0 as the fourth quarter winds down. We still have the water break to go here. You know, the worst part about football season starting, Knock, is the amount of ink that I will now go through.
I was going to say, my girlfriend and I actually today, we went and we bought 2 things of ink because I ran out this morning when I was printing my spot boards. Third down and a mile. Allen looking deep for Wilson, and he makes the catch, but was he in bounds? No. The official says no. Says he was out of bounds. I don't know if he got – I mean, he might have got 1 foot in, and that's all you need at high school, but – official says no, and that'll force Dean Roberts to come out to punt this one away.
This is going to get interesting right here because Ogalli wants to run this clock. I know they do. You know they do.
They just want. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. At this point, you just want to get out of here healthy. You don't want anybody else. You don't want to get anybody injured. That's pretty much what Coach Sands wants. I mean, and at the same time, too, Coach John Holmes wants as well. Again, he wants his full cast next week as they get ready to start the season.
Xavier Larice is standing back here in his own 45, and I know the only thing going through Xavier's mind right now is a 55-yard touchdown.
I mean, he's been pretty impressive tonight already. A pick 6, and almost a 99-yard pick 6, but is brought down, and he only got 74 yards of the way.
They should not kick this to Larice.
Dean Roberts doesn't, and it doesn't take a Titusville bounces. That one's going to be short. That'll be out of bounds at about the 34-yard line, and the Eau Gallie Commodores will have a very short field to work with.
You know, a lot of people talking about the Rockledge Raiders, that the Raiders will be okay, the Raiders will be okay. You know, let me just say this. I also believe that about this Titusville Terrier team as well, Knock. I believe they're going to be just fine. Listen, obviously, I don't see a scenario. You know, they play in that district with Cocoa, Astronaut, and I think that's it. I think it's Astronaut. Space Coast plays in the Sunshine State Athletic Conference, so it's not Space Coast.
Yeah, I don't remember who else is in their district now. I just know it's Titusville and
Cocoa. Astronaut. I'm pretty sure it's Palm Bay. Palm Bay's in there.
Granlund in the quarterback.
Thank you. Palm Bay. So the one switch I had made coming into this year was I did take Titusville to finish second in this district this year. And I haven't seen Palm Bay. They're not playing a classic. So I know they lost some players to transfer. Octavian Osby is now down in Vero Beach. And so I know they lost a couple other players down south of Heritage as well.
Parker Bryant in on the stop there for the Terriers as the Eau Gallie Commodores hand it off to Williams. They'll lose about 5. Brings up second down and 15. Again, the score right now, 31-0. The Eau Gallie Commodores over the Terriers. Alan?
But no, I just think that Titusville and Palm Bay will battle for that second spot in that district. Obviously, Coco's going to run the table there. And then Astronaut in a retooling, rebuilding mode. And I like the decision by Cliff Nichols, the Space Coast, not to go to the Sunshine State Athletic Conference. We talked to him about that and about why he made that decision. And I love the fact that they did that.
Handoff once again to Williams as he comes to the near sideline. Good nice tackle there by Jackson. Kamari Jackson coming up from the corner position, making the stop. Williams will gain some of that lost yardage back. It'll be third down and about 12. Ball sits on the 35-yard line of the Terriers. Ogalli needs to get the ball to about the 23-yard line for a first down.
Talking about 4S, and we'll talk at this at length Sunday night at 7:30 for the Brevard Sports Network High School Football Preview 2-hour special.
Right now, Biggs gets the handoff as he's looking for room to run, and he's brought down quickly by the Titusville Terriers, and there's a fumble. Ball still on the ground. We'll see who comes up with it as that's on the far sideline. And
what was the final on that Melbourne game? 28-21 Melbourne. Good job. Good on David Kintai, Jeff Panucci, and that entire staff. Lyle Neighbor, 28-21. On that entire staff for winning that. Listen, I don't know what Jordan Padala did tonight at quarterback, and I don't know anything that happened. But I do know a lot of people thought they were going to go in there and get smashed tonight, and it didn't happen. And good on Melbourne for coming out with that win.
Yeah, see, I'll be honest. I know a lot of people were kind of down on Melbourne, and listen, we'll see what kind of season they have. But, again, that team I don't think is going to go down fighting.
No,
go down without fighting.
They have athletes. They got
a lot of youth.
They have 4 basketball players that are playing football this year, and these guys are pretty good.
First down and 10 as Josiah Allen takes the ball, and he'll be stopped behind the line of scrimmage for about a yard loss here as Titusville Terriers recovered a fumble as the Eau Gallie Commodores made a mistake.
Cocoa Beach with a win tonight, 33-7. I just saw up on the screen in their kickoff classic, and Ben Waldrop starts off his 3rd season with a win, and Cocoa Beach also in the Sunshine State Athletic Conference, and they will look to build on their 6-3 record last year, their first winning record since the aforementioned Tony Piccolo was there, not.
Great job. I mean, a lot of summer hype with Ben Waldrop and that team. They got talent. Second down and 11 for the Terriers. Josiah Allen picks up the low snap. Allen now escaping out of the pocket, trying to make a play, makes one man miss, still on his feet, and he's getting across the midfield, and he'll be inside Eau Gallie Commodore territory at about the 40-yard line. And it looks like Josiah Allen's helmet came off again on the sideline.
Joseph Ballman watching from Boston tonight.
Good old Boston.
Boston, yeah. Why do we always do that? We always say that, right? I mean, we always make fun of that accent. Boston,
no, I hear that accent at home.
Yeah,
now.
I do it. Your girlfriend breathes, and loves Boston.
She loves Bruins hockey.
Bruins hockey. The Bees, baby, the Bees. Halfway through now as we hit the water break.
31-0. The Commodores leading the Terriers here. As, again, kind of recap for you how things have gone. Go back to the first quarter. We kick things off with a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Latavius Welch. Extra point was good. After some mistakes between teams, We saw Jay Latson move the ball down the field and get it to Emmanuel Small for a 9-yard touchdown pass. The extra point was no good. Got the score to 13-0. Then Jay Latson before halftime with a 1-yard touchdown run. Made it 19-0 for the Eau Gallie Commodores. And then coming out, the Terriers started to move the football to open up the second half, but an interception by Xavier Larice. Takes it 74 yards. And then the Eau Gallie Commodores finish off they ended up not getting a score on that one as Terriers take over after a turnover on downs. And then it was an interception return for 19 yards for Xavier Larice to make it 25-0. Then Brendan Brown with an interception return for a touchdown to make it 31-0. So that is how we got to this point here in the midway point of the fourth quarter, where the Commodores lead 31-0 over the Titusville Terriers.
That recap brought to you by Ubrizati. We've had a couple of close ones the last two nights. The combined score of our two games that we have done has been 82-0.
Yeah, one-sided affair as Ray Wilson is dropped by Gowans once again, and another Commodore down as well.
Is that Markel Gowans again in there with a sack?
That's 3 sacks for Gowans tonight. Gowans with 3
sacks. Is that
sacks.
Larice down? No.
No, that is Ray Berry coming off the field. Hopefully he'll be okay. The training staff take a look at him.
Larice is in. Okay.
6. I mean, I started losing count. I mean, I think we're at maybe 7 or 8 sacks at this point of the night. But again, Gowans with 3. Sandman Thompson had 2. I know Roberts had 1 as well. Again, this pass rush, and that's the thing in high school football, Alan. If you got a really good pass rush across the front 4 or across the 3, man, that makes life miserable for offensive lines.
Ryan Huffney said, any updates on Vieira and Merritt Island in their jamboree tonight? I'm not sure.
Allen rolling to his left, being chased by Sandman Thompson, able to escape. He's going to get towards the far sideline.
I know.
And inbounds, he'll stay. He gains a couple of yards.
Vieira was up pretty good early
They were on
on.
Seabreeze.
Yeah, they were 27-12. Vieira won. 27-12. Vieira won. And we'll get that all updated tonight sometime. Might even do a little quick recap, give you the scoreboard tonight. Our post-game shows will start next week.
4th down and about 13 to go for the Titusville Terriers. Ball needs to get to the 31-yard line of the Commodores for a 1st down. Josiah Allen looking to the sideline for the offensive play call. Smith and Jackson, the receivers, to the near side. We have not seen Stephens since probably early on in the 3rd quarter. And Coach John Holmes is going to take a timeout here as they want to discuss this 4th down play.
Yeah, this is probably their last-ditch effort to put some points on the board here. And so we'll see what they come up with. All right, Knock, let's see what else here. In that 4S District 10 region, it is Harmony, Vieira, Heritage, and Melbourne. So you never want to take too much from a win or a loss in a Kickoff Classic. All you Rockledge haters out there, slow your roll a little bit, okay? And everybody out there going, look at Melbourne. Again, the same thing applies. Slow down a little bit. But there are things you can take from it. So you look at that 4S, you see Heritage wins, Vieira wins, Melbourne wins. Not sure about Harmony. But the way I think that's Heritage's district to win, and I think Vieira and Melbourne will fight for it. I'm going to give the edge slightly here to Vieira because I like Chase Cromartie, and I like the fact that from what I've seen, Chase looks really good in camp, and I'm not sure what he did tonight, but we'll have to see. That's a fake.
And that'll be well short of 1st down marker. Flag flies in late.
Harmony lost a lot of players. I think Harmony graduated somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 to 20 seniors. Like Melbourne, they graduated 20 out of 22 starters last year. Harmony, I think the same thing. I think that division stacks up Heritage, Vieira, Melbourne, Harmony. I think that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, that Vieira-Melbourne game is going to be huge, as you mentioned. We're curious to see what Harmony has, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, that second-place position for the playoffs is wide open. And will be really interesting to see what they decide to do. Trying to pick up a score from Vieira and Merritt Island. See if I can grab that real quick.
First down for Titusville. They have following a face mask penalty, not.
Big face mask penalty on the Commodores. Gives a first down for the Terriers. Again, close to the best field position they've had tonight in terms of driving down the field. Allen looking to throw. Going to send one deep for Jaden Brown, and that one goes in and out of his hands. Got to give some credit to good coverage by Xavier Larice. So Vieira tonight, according to Chris Boyle on Twitter, Vieira scored 68 points across 4 quarters against both Seabreeze and Merritt Island. I don't know what the scores were on that.
Let me tell you, 68 points, a lot of points. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I've watched Chase Cromartie in camp, and based on what he did in the spring, and I know everybody said, look, he's just playing a Bayside team that Billy Miller had just taken over and hadn't quite put together yet. But when you're throwing dimes, you're throwing dimes. And Cromartie's been throwing dimes. Don't underestimate Chase Cromartie. He could come out as the best passing quarterback in this county this year.
Second down and 10, Allen. 3-step drop, fires quickly, looking for Ralph Smith, and that one's almost intercepted as that was Willie Lewis. And on the coverage on Ralph Smith.
He's gotten bigger. The issue with Chase, as it always is that you're going to have to protect him. That offensive line didn't provide a lot of protection last year. Will they be able to at least give him a little bit more time to get rid of the football this year? We'll see. But I definitely like Cromartie and the way he looks right now throwing the ball.
Well, so if I use my public education math learning.
Careful.
The Vieira Hawks, if you got 27 points against Seabreeze and they scored 68 points, that means they scored 41 points at least against Merritt Island. Now, I don't know how many points Merritt Island scored.
That would be in 2 quarters.
That would be in 2 quarters, but I don't know how many points Merritt Island scored. First down and 10 for the Terriers after the penalty.
Well, it doesn't sound promising. Just saying.
Ball on the 13-yard line or 14-yard line of the Commodores. Allen quickly throws again on the fade route to Smith. Smith makes the catch for the touchdown. We do have a flag. We'll see what the flag is on. But again, a nice pass there by Josiah Allen to Ralph Smith for the touchdown.
And I thought he threw it the other way. And I moved the camera the wrong way, so I may have missed Titusville's only score of the night.
Officials having a conference here.
They may just pick this flag up.
We'll see. I mean, Chris Sands pointing it the other way.
Chris always points the other way.
An eligible man downfield.
I'll tell you, that's tough right there.
Tough night for the Titusville Terriers offensively here tonight. And like I said, they've had some good plays tonight. Unfortunately, penalties when they've had those good plays have come back to bite them as well. So we'll see Titusville try it one more time.
Not sure how much time is left, but it's under 6 minutes. We've already had the water break, right?
Daryl Duran said, you went to Melbourne High just like the rest of us now. Josiah Allen has hit as he's thrown. That falls incomplete. And Gowans was in on the pressure, forcing the incomplete pass.
These young men are going to have to drink a lot of pickle juice, eat a lot of bananas, drink a lot of something tonight to make sure they don't cramp up in the middle of the night. Man, I'm going to tell you, there's no feeling worse than in the middle of the night or being Knock, you may remember this, and Chase, you might too. How many times have you been woken out of a dead sleep on a bus ride coming back from a game when one of your fellow teammates screams at the top of his lung with a cramp? Oh.
Well, see, in Montana, that might have happened a couple times because we had 2 and 4 hour bus rides. I don't think I ever had I think the farthest I ever traveled was Titusville High School for a game. Well, that's not true. We went to mainland, and I think we went to Orlando for a playoff game my sophomore year.
You actually made the playoffs. I'm joking, buddy.
I didn't make the playoffs. I didn't play that sophomore year. My senior year, different story.
I got you. Who did you play for, Grish?
No, I was with Wilson.
Okay.
Wilson's first year there.
I got you. Jets.
Wiggins gets the handoff to the outside. He knocked out of bounds. Yeah, and listen, it's been a tough night for the Titusville Terriers, but again, I think offensively they got some nice things. I liked what I've seen out of Josiah Allen. Again, if he's got some time, he makes the throws. They've got some talented guys on the outside. Obviously, we haven't seen Stephens since the early part of the third quarter, but Stephens made some nice plays tonight. So, like I said, I know the score's 31-0 Ogalli, but again, and as you talked about too, Alan, I think Titusville, they've got talent. Just a bad night. I mean, mistakes. And that's what you want to kind of clean up. This is why you have the Kickoff Classic. You make mistakes, go to the film room on Monday, clean up those things, and get ready for week 1.
A lot of hype about Titusville. And you know what? This may be a good thing for them. And I think Coach Holmes, coaches will tell you, well, a loss is never a good thing. But I think what this does is it's humbling, A, and B, you know what? As a player, you might take an extra step back and maybe study your film a little extra longer, or, maybe you do that extra. I don't know. But you know what? Titusville turned this into a positive, and they're going to be just fine this year. Much like Rockledge will be fine, so will Titusville.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, listen, I'm not going to get too over-animated about, Kickoff Classic results. We know that's not going to be how this thing determines. We got a long story ahead of us here. 10 more weeks of high school football action, then the playoffs. We'll find out a lot as the story continues here in the 2023 high school football season that is just beginning to be written here.
Well, I like this. I like this here. Let's see what our kickers got. So I do like this call.
Dean Roberts, the kicker for the Titusville Terriers. So right now, ball sitting on the 16. That one looked like it might have snuck in. So that would have been a 33-yard attempt.
I tell you what, he's got a foot knock. He drilled that one.
Yeah.
Just went wide left.
That one had a little bit of that golf fade.
And you know what? He had good approach to the ball. I think he might have rushed it just a little bit, and that's what forced it wide left. But I tell you what, he definitely showed some leg strength there.
Yeah, Dean Roberts. I mean, again, that was good from 33. That could have been good from 38.
Yeah, we saw last night, Gunner, talking about Coco, they got it all. Man, they got it all. Gunner Trout last night, how would he kick a 33-yard field goal and didn't come close to, that would have been good from 50, and didn't come close to missing an extra point. So
no, he was perfect last night.
Yeah.
Gallie Commodores take over after the Roberts miss. Be first down and 10. Ball spotted at about the 20-yard line.
So Brody Grantlin, we get to see Grantlin back.
We'll see Gonzalez and Williams, the tailbacks. A little surprised we haven't seen some of the starters come out on the offensive line for the Eau Gallie Commodores.
Well, and they're just going to take a knee here, knock, and that'll wind it up. Your final thoughts, buddy?
Again, the Eau Gallie Commodores impressive. Again, that pass rush, if you got a ferocious pass rush, it makes life miserable for other offenses. Again, Atavius Welch, my first chance to see Williams and Welch, impressive to say the least. And again, I mean, we kind of kicked it off. Ogalli didn't have their starting quarterback nor their top wide receiver tonight, and they were still able to move the football, the way they wanted to. They did have some mistakes. Again, give Titusville Terriers defense credit, especially in that first half, limiting Ogalli to 19 points, getting some turnovers too, ending some drives that could have been more points for the Commodores. But overall, impressed by what Ogalli and Coach Chris Sands has. And again, I think, John Holmes and the Titusville Terriers, not the result they want, but they'll go back to work on Monday, and I think this result doesn't spell anything into what these Titusville Terriers are actually going to be in 2023.
Yep, couldn't agree with you anymore and everything you said. The thing that stands out to me tonight, this Eau Gallie defense, as good as advertised, and John Holmes will fix what ails the Titusville Terriers. That'll wrap it up. Your final score, the Eau Gallie Commodores get their Kickoff Classic win as Chris Sands begins his 6th season. They defeat the Titusville Terriers 31-0. We want to thank all of our sponsors. Want to thank Chase Alexander and Anthony Knockreiner. For Anthony, for Chase, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. This has been a presentation of Brevard Sports Network. Join us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for 6U football and all-day football from the Bayside Bears, the Bear Den, as Bayside Youth Football takes on Volusia County. And join us Sunday night for the Brevard Sports Network 2-hour high school football preview show. Once again, for Anthony Knockreiner and Chase Alexander, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. The final score, Ogalli 31, Titusville 0. Our player of the game, no doubt, Xavier Larice. Have a great night, everybody.